Something like that.
City planner Darren has walked in.
City planner Darren. There we go. Welcome, friends, to another game of Skyfall 5th Edition. I'm joined today by the lucky bastards who are going to attempt to play some SimCity and get a small town of a few hundred people into a proper, thriving metropolis, I believe, or simply burn it down to the ground. Who knows? It could be anything with these folk. I've seen what they've done here before. So, in your last session, you went about traveling until you eventually came to the site of Valu, which also happened to link up with a prophecy that Meneltirn had been following. And there you found what appeared to be a power struggle atop the hill that once housed the great castle of the city that has now been burnt down and destroyed. It seems that three figures vying for power were in the midst of an argument, and you all intervened and actually managed to find out that one of them was a genie in disguise. And through intense combat and the actual loss of one of your party members, you managed to defeat this genie. After some somber moments, you got to greet with the people, and now they seem to have turned to your group as their de facto leaders in a strange way. You've also come into contact with a nobleman by the name of Jack Aesop, who has offered you his family's fortune in return for a position of power once the city has been properly fixed. The last thing that you did was to have this conversation and to make this deal with Aesop over in the cave. You've all emerged and returned back to the feast, and the night has gone on without a hitch. Plenty of partying, though a little bit of a somber mood hangs around given your loss, and eventually everyone starts to go to bed. So it's late at night, and you guys are all around the fire here. There's folks milling about, but most people are sound asleep in their tents. What do you all wish to do?
Oh, I'm going to... Well... Milton, can I borrow some paper and a quill and ink?
Sure. And I go through my scholar's pack and produce those items.
Sure.
You know how to use I about to hand them out, then I pull them back. You know how to use these, right?
I can read and write.
Okay.
Start stabbing the quill through the paper.
I have an int of 8, not 6.
8 not 6. My bad, sorry.
I'll just find I'll find a plank of wood or something that I can use as a desk.
Okay.
And I'm going to begin writing out town plans.
Town plans. Interesting.
On the top it says "Cool City," and he has a drawing of a big house.
Right. No, I like that idea. That is fantastic. Okay, so what do you do with these plans here? What are you jotting down?
Well, I'm mostly regurgitating stuff that we talked with Jack about onto the paper. We need a militia,
Okay.
we need houses, we need all this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
As Darren's going through this list, I'm gonna pipe up and suggest a temple to Tilda. Throw in there too.
A little nudge, nudge.
No, I got that, and Autumn. Got them both.
Okay. Make sure everyone's gods are represented.
Mm-hmm.
So you spend some time and eventually jot down all the items on this list. Do you plan to give it to somebody, or you're just going to keep it on yourself as perhaps a reminder, or what?
I'll keep it with me for now. It is late at night.
Okay. Does anyone have anything that they're doing before they go to bed?
I'm going to bed in front of the cave entrance.
Not a bad idea. Okay.
How late is it?
It is probably a few hours since the sun has gone down.
Okay. Is Jack anywhere around?
Jack has a rather nice tent, which is close to the edge of the hill and is not more than maybe a couple 100 feet away from where all of you are. You can see it
right
over there.
But does it look like he's gone to bed already?
He certainly wandered into the tent and not come out, but you're not sure if he's asleep or not.
Hmm. I'll approach his tent.
Sure, okay. So you approach the tent and you see that seated outside there happens to be his couple of guardsmen, and they seem to recognize you, giving you a look for a moment and then a nod.
Is Jack in at the moment, or is he asleep?
One of the men pauses for a second and then heads on through the tent. And let's see. After a second or two, you see Jack steps out, and he looks like he's not really tired at all. He doesn't appear to have been like partway headed off to sleep or anything. He has a cup in his hand that has some sort of piping hot liquid from which steam arises, and he gives you a look and says, "Oh, hello."
I was just wondering if you perhaps had the time or wanted to talk perhaps a little bit of magic.
Oh, yes. You were the one that that mentioned that earlier.
Absolutely.
I do have a little bit of time on my hands. Please, here, come in. And he kind of holds open the flap of the tent for you.
I go in.
Okay. Inside, you can see the abode that Jack has, and for a nobleman, it seems a little bare. There's a bedroll on the ground. It looks like the same kind of bedroll, though much cleaner and probably recently washed, but the same kind of bedroll that you guys have as just adventurers that travel along the road. And he has what appears to be some furniture in this tent as well, all of which seems to be the kind which folds out and would be easily traveled with. But you don't see anything along the lines of an elaborate chandelier that's been hung up, or just piles of gold, or anything like that.
Meneltern doesn't really care if he's rich or not. He was like the one smart person Meneltern has met since he came to Skyfall.
Has half a brain, and that's enough.
Okay.
He motions for you to sit down here, and you can see he's got a few. They could be best described as perhaps floor pillows, and he sits down on one of them.
And I take a seat as well.
Yeah, your name was Meneltern, wasn't it?
That is correct.
Well, what questions did you have for me?
Well, where to begin? I mean, it is merely just exhilarating experience to talk with someone who has half a brain. I have not had the chance to speak intelligently in quite some time.
Your companions are not practitioners of the arts, then, I guess.
No, they're more practitioners of the hit and smash, if you will.
Fair enough. You see he gives you a small smile, and he says, "Well, I've accumulated a few things in my travels. You're more than welcome to take a look if you wish."
Absolutely. What have you collected?
He heads over towards a small chest at the back and opens it up and starts to rifle through it. And he pulls out what appears to be a fairly large-looking tome, and he says, my first spell book. Here. And he hands it over to you.
I look through it.
You find what appears to be a plethora of low-level spells in here, and by low-level I mean going up towards the max of 3.
Okay.
So, given that, if this was his first spell book, you can gauge that that Jack is probably a good deal ahead of you when it comes to the magical arts.
Kind of flipping through.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Some of the spells you can't discern, but a good deal of them you can. How about you go ahead and make for me an Arcana roll and see just exactly how much of it you can read. Whew. Oh!
9.
9, okay. So looking through it, you're having a little bit of trouble, and it seems that though his magical career and history is quite intense and indeed impressive, his writing is not the easiest to understand.
As it is with
Many professionals.
wizards and yeah.
Doctors, wizards, it's all the same thing. What is this garbage?
Just kind of flipping through. Fascinating. You seem to be a great deal more powerful than you let on.
Well, thank you. If you wish, I'd rather not have it leave the tent, but you're more than welcome to study the book or drop by again if you want.
Absolutely, I would love to. There's certainly much I can learn from this. But yes, I will return to your tent if I find the need arises.
So before you go, Meneltir, I know you came to speak magic, but I must ask, what plans do you think your group has for this town exactly? I know we spoke earlier, and it's only been a little while, but I can't help but feel like I'm almost having difficulty judging not the character, you're all fine people, but the intentions of your group.
Well, Dudarin is meant for something greater. I have been the prophet of Yendu for some time, and I have discerned a prophecy about Dudarin, and it would appear that it brought us here. What Dudarin actually plans to do, I'm, well, not entirely sure. He's, as you said, good of character, and I believe good-natured at heart, and I would think that he has something floating around in what he calls a brain, about what to do with this city. The specifics of which, not much more than what we spoke about earlier. I intend to stay by his side and, well, mentor and guide him, as it is my duty as the prophet of Yendu.
So, this prophecy, do you know where it leads?
It led us here.
No, but I mean,
Where
does it
it
have a
ends?
foreseeable end?
No, it changes constantly. It began some time ago. It spoke of a hero born of a trial of fire. I found him here in the burnt city of Valu, or what remained of it, as I can now tell. But it continually changed, depicting him as kingly, not depicting him at all at some points, but it guides us.
You see his fingers tap along his bent knee here as he sits cross-legged, and it's clear that Jack is in deep thought and puzzled by this. It only kind of gets worse. He eventually sort of leans forward and places his hand, like his chin, into his hand there, and continues to tap his fingers.
Mm-hmm. I'll let him sit and tap for a bit.
I don't know what to make of this man. I mean, he seems like good folk. I don't mean to insult your friends or anything, but let's just say there is a lot of odd circumstance
About
just this whole situation here.
I suppose, from what I have been told, if I remember correctly, he had some interaction with this town prior. There appeared to be some leader here, of whose name I care not to remember, but upon her defeat, she apparently brought forth the fire, and what I believe happened, she somehow opened a rift to the elemental plane of fire so strong that it completely moved the city, as when we went through the portal below, we saw a burnt city, of which I assume was Valu. That is why I believe the city to be burned. Why we came back, I can only tell you that the stars guided us. Dudarin had no intention of returning here specifically, but it is where we were brought.
If you don't mind, Meneltiern, I think I must ask for my privacy again. I have some notes that I wish to write.
Certainly, and I get up and I bow and I leave.
Be sure to stop by another day, though.
Absolutely.
Okay. He gives you a friendly wave as you head on beyond the tent. Are you headed back to the rest of your group?
Yeah, just wherever our tent is or what have you.
Okay, sounds good. So you're back sitting around the evening fire here with the rest of your group now having been gone for a little bit. Well,
Oh, me. After Mountain Earth, I probably would have just finished my notes and gone to bed.
sure. Is everybody getting some sleep?
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, Vorok, I'd like you to give us a little bit about your backstory here.
Right, Goliath, barbarian. Was found deep in the mountains by dwarves as a kid. Actually rescued by them, so I was adopted by family there and raised in their family. Worked in the mines, and while working there, because they had a Goliath working in the mines, they started to make quite a bit of money, move up in social status in the society. But Vorik always liked to go outdoors, so explored a lot. Eventually found some mountain caves that had carvings by Goliaths, and told information just about what Goliaths are and their culture and stuff. And found that he was more in line with their values, where you get what you earn, things like that, not just you're born into it. So eventually, his father had died, so his older brother took over the mine, who was lazy, and he kind of resented it, since he thought, why would some lazy guy who never worked hard get to take over? Shit kind of hit the fan, and he left, and has kind of just been wandering around. Mostly it's living in the woods on his own, but traveling to towns here and there, doing odd jobs.
Okay, living on his own and traveling town to town on occasion.
Yes, searching for something.
Gotcha. So, you spent the last little while in Roche, the last roughly about a year, I would say, between towns, doing odd work here and there, but being a survivable man, you spend a lot of the time just on your own out in the wild. When one day, while traveling along the northern road, you camp to go and get some shut-eye and have a strange dream. And in this strange dream, a scenario plays out where you are facing off against an incredibly large and powerful beast, and during this fight, though it is a incredibly just gargantuan and terrifying monster, you feel like a swell of pride. It's an enjoyable fight and one that's exhilarating, and in your dream you remember plenty of fondness doing combat with this strange creature. And alongside you, there are a group of figures as well. You're not fighting alone. Instead, there's what appears to be a dwarf next to you, a masked man, and a human up towards the front as well, fighting along your side. And then the dream finishes as you're going in for the killing blow. As you continue to think about this dream, you go on your travels, and eventually, a day or two later, run into an area which marked on your map would say that there's a small town, but in fact has just a settlement of a few hundred people with a bunch of tents. And as you step into it to see if perhaps there's some work to be had, you notice something. We'll get to you in just a brief moment here. Everybody awakes back in Volu, so you three get up and crawl from beyond the large tent, which seems to be reserved for all of you. And as you do, you notice something. Let's see here. The weather is quite good outside, and though it is still winter and this horrible cold season has lingered for much longer than you would imagine, some of the changes have actually been in your favor, and it's not quite as cold a day nor as snowy as you would expect. And given that you're in this strange magical area as well, it's almost pleasant. As you all step outside to wake up, before you can even really grab breakfast while you're seated around the fire there, you notice another early bird, which also seems to be nearby. There is a hulking Goliath of a man stepping through the town. Everybody else seems to kind of be like asleep or perhaps just waking up, heating water for a cup of tea, that sort of thing. Except this man. He is ready for combat with an incredibly large axe on his back, and he's approaching your group. And meanwhile, Vorak, you see what looks like the three figures from your dream, seated up ahead down at a fire. Vorak, what do you do?
As I look over and see them, I'll just stop and rub my head for a minute, thinking, like, is that not them? And I'll start to walk at a quicker pace to get closer and have a look.
Okay.
I look to Darren and I go, is that Goliath walking towards us?
I'll hover my hand over my axe.
Okay.
Just
I'll
Just
be
because
holding
we've
my
had-
staff with both hands.
we've had a rough couple days.
Okay. So you prepare to unsheathe your weapons here if need be, and the Goliath eventually gets closer to you.
How close is he?
Vorak, how close do you get? Do you just go straight up to them, or what?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go straight up to them. Like,
He's like 5 feet
that's
away
what I-
from the fire, just standing here
Um,
next to everybody.
Hello? What brings you
greetings,
here?
elf.
I'm sorry?
Greetings.
Yes, greetings. Who are you?
I am Vorak of Clan Stonebreaker.
Uh-huh.
I like him already.
Pardon my rudeness, but I believe I've seen you before. You and your companions.
Aleutian, do I remember seeing him ever?
Ah, no, you do not.
Hearing
I-
about us is
I
one
think
thing.
you must be mistaken. I don't believe we've met.
No, it was in my dream. I dreamed of the three of you.
Uh-huh.
Hey, he's like you,
Okay.
except not with stars.
It's not exactly the same thing to Darren. Deciphering the prophecy of a god is not the same as a Goliath having a dream.
Too much sass for.
I'm just kind of scratching my head, confused right now, as they're bickering.
I mean, maybe his God wanted to be a little more forward.
Perhaps.
I mean, you saw
What-
what Dilva did for me.
Right. So, your dream. It brought you here?
Well, not necessarily. My traveling brought me here.
Mm-hmm. And
I'd-
what exactly is it that you seek to get from us?
Well, that I'm not sure, but when you have a dream of three travelers and then meet them on the road, it must mean something.
Perhaps. Middletiern is slowly kind of like putting his head in his hand, like scratching his chin,
Scratching his mask.
scratching his mask. My apologies.
I'm not one at interpreting dreams, but we were fighting a beast of giant stature. I'm always up for a good fight, so I figure if I stick with you, perhaps I'll meet this creature.
I'm gonna kind of start pouring through my notes on prophecy and see if there's anything that would indicate it. Just kind of incessantly flipping through pages.
Sure. Go ahead and make for me a investigation check.
Well, either that another big fight's coming, or you just missed it.
Just
Oh,
missed
the nat
it.
one.
What do you mean?
Ah,
You go into your notes and accidentally tear the first page a little bit, and it puts you off enough that as you're going through the rest of them, you just can't seem to find any information.
I awkwardly start fumbling with the book, trying to fix the first page.
Rip poor book. It's before your time.
I go over to Ivan. Mending.
I've just been sitting there eating his breakfast the whole time. Just looks up. A minute.
I'll look over to Ivan and just say in Dwarvish, "Greetings, dwarf brother."
Bit surprised that he speaks Dwarvish. Greetings.
As
Good morning.
am I.
Well, I've introduced myself. Would you mind telling me who you are? And I'll extend a hand to Dudarin.
I will stand up and meet his hands. Like, I am the great hero Dudan.
Great hero.
New hero of this, or new ruler of this town.
Interesting. I would like you to actually make a check for me, please, Vorak. Go ahead and roll. Do you have either history or any other int skills?
I have. Let's see.
He asked the Goliath Barbarian.
I've got religion.
Got religion? Okay, interesting. Make a straight luck roll for me.
I'm not bare chested. So
Oh
you
my
can-
fuck. Jesus.
How do we always do this?
This is the... Okay, alright. Well, that's why we call this group the Lucky Bastards. So, you've actually heard of this man, Dudarin. In fact, you can recall a good number of stories. Throughout the towns here, there's talk in tavern on drunken evenings every now and then of some sort of selfless hero that has traveled from the three towns to many of the other cities, slaying beast and monster alike, and he seems to do it for no cost and just simply puts his life on the line for the common man. And unless this is some sort of imposter, he now stands in front of you.
You're the Dudarin I've heard about? You're not quite what I thought you would be.
Your arm
I
is
am up
super
and down.
broken compared to what people say.
Though I have heard of your feats, and they're quite impressive.
With great feats come great injuries.
I was gonna say
But
great
you
shoes.
continue to keep adventuring. I can respect that. And I'm just gonna clap him on the back. Pretty hard.
Dudarin's other arm breaks.
Yeah.
So these must be your companions, lucky bastards, so I've heard.
Yeah, most of them.
I'm sorry, the names, the stories do not mention your names. Just Dudarin.
I swear I mentioned Zai at some point. Oh well.
Yes, perhaps I've heard that one.
Roll luck for me.
Another nat 20.
Another nat 20. Yeah, here we go, boys.
He's
Not
there
the
too.
one. Oh no!
Oh, okay.
7.
Yeah, so indeed, this name doesn't seem to ring any bells for you.
No, just the group and yourself, Dudarin.
Well, I'll point to Ivan. Like, that's Ivan, and this is Meneltiern.
Well, if I'm dreaming about the lucky bastards, then I'm quite sure I'll run into beasts that I can slay.
Perhaps.
That is, if such an esteemed group would have me.
I look to Dudarin. I have no notes on this.
Can you build houses?
There's
I
a question.
feel like I'm better at breaking a house than building it, but I could try.
Darren just points in the distance. Get out!
And I'll take like my note, like paper out of like my pocket or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, are you a good hunter?
Absolutely I am. I've lived on my own in the wilds for years.
Great, we need one of those in town. I'll put the notes away.
And I'm quite good at lifting things too. And I'll try to grab Metal Tyrion and lift him up.
I will walk away as he gets that close to me. I will absolutely not let him touch me.
Okay, fair enough. Can you roll a perception check for me, Mental Tyrion?
Yep.
Oh,
4?
and so the luck has run out. Okay.
Apparently.
For
I'm
metal.
blowing it on these non-important rolls.
As he steps towards you, you're not exactly how strong, but it's obvious that the Goliath is quite capable and muscular. You take a step back from him.
Excuse
Well,
me. Can I help you?
Well, I was just going to show that I can lift an elf quite easily.
No. No, you won't. Thank
It's
you
not
very much.
impressive to lift an elf.
I don't think you could lift an elf, Dudairn.
I'm walking away as they're having this conversation.
It's probably not a bad idea.
I say I will not be a part of this.
I'll have you know, I climbed a mountain with Ivan on my back.
I've climbed many mountains.
Yeah, was it
Mountains
straight
bigger
up?
than you've probably ever seen.
Was it straight up?
And so
Of course
begins
it was.
the fantasy dick measuring contest.
Exactly. It's only a matter of time.
I've even climbed some mountains upside down.
How about escape giant whirling blades of... And Dudairn just pauses. And stares blankly at the ground. I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
I'm not too sure.
Anyway,
You
yeah,
just
you
kind
do,
of trailed off.
you do look strong, and we do need people to help build. Adventuring will come, but this town is my responsibility.
It is an honorable request. But be assured, I am here for the adventuring.
It'll show up. It seems to follow us.
Well, that is good news indeed.
Can I go find Jack? Or
Certainly.
to at least where his tent was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
So you wander off and head towards the tent there. And as you see Mental Tyrion excuses himself, Ivan, you notice something.
No.
It's not the kind of something that you want to notice. A singular raven perches itself atop one of the houses on the hill.
Has it seen any fight?
Why? You see it lands there and starts to look around. Go ahead and roll insight for me.
The 22.
You don't think that it's noticed you yet. It
Metal
seems like
Tyrion has
it's...
walked off at this point, correct?
Yeah, he just got up and started to wander somewhere as he does on occasion, and it appears that this bird is taking stock of the town, looking keenly in one direction, then another, but you don't think it's noticed you yet.
I will point it out to Dudairn.
Vorak, was it we should, move away from this spot. Follow me, I'll show you around town.
Well, thank you, Dudairn.
Okay, so you're gonna lead Vorak off to a miniature tour here? What's going on?
Really just leaving the hill,
Right, just getting in the opposite direction of that.
but I will take him to, like, the important tents.
Okay, sure. So you go to lead him off, taking him to some of the tradesmen that you met during the feast from the previous night. And Mental Tyrion, you arrive over here at the little camp that Jack seems to spend most of his time at. And you can see that he's actually seated outside of his tent, already ready there with a cup of something hot, sitting on what looks like a very simple fold-out bench in front of a fire. He sees you approaching and he looks over and he says, "Oh, Mental Tyrion,
Good morning.
Morning to you too. How are you?
I'm doing well. One quick question. What day is it?
Oh, goodness, what day is it? He pauses for a second, and then turns to you and tells you... It is the 26th of spring.
Wait,
what?
it was the 32nd before.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my bad. 1 second.
I was like,
Let me see here.
Might be thinking of like Wednesday or Thursday group there.
I think...
I thought we went back in time, and then I was about to.
Yeah, we
like,
just skipped a whole year.
explode.
It's fine.
God.
I thought you ended the last session on the 22nd of spring.
30. I was told 32nd.
I thought it was 22nd.
That's why
So-
the note
So I
says
have
32nd.
started on the 19th, 10 days past of traveling to the 29th, 3 days of traveling past to the 32nd.
Ah, okay. Let's see here. Give me 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Fucked up all the time in Illusion's game by finally asking it.
No, we're all good.
Broke the system, boys.
Just means it's been even longer now.
So, you're told that it is the 36th.
So, So, we've been gone for some time.
He said, well, a few days. Speaking of which, I've been meaning to ask, is Dudarin back around? Some of the things that he asked for I've managed to acquire.
Yes, he is. Well, he was at the camp when I left, so I suppose he could still be there. There was this strange Goliath that approached our campsite. Evidently wanted to befriend us, it would appear.
He raises an eyebrow and says, I didn't order a Goliath.
Nor am I saying you did, but he's here nonetheless. Regardless,
Is he a problem?
no, he's actually more polite than some of the people I've met in Skyfall. Surprisingly enough, I don't know. Strange. But, yeah, like I said, he should be back at the campsite.
You see Jack pauses for a second, and then with a brief, slightly concealed hand gesture, you see he points at you and you hear a magical voice that speaks directly into your mind. With your arcane knowledge being what it is, you know that he's just cast a message spell on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear his voice say, Meltiern, you're not a high elf, are you? just start like coughing profusely.
Oh, Christ. No, I do it in my mind. No, of course not. That's about all he gets from me.
He looks over and he gives you a knowing smile, and then he taps a bag nearby. There's a large brown like cloth sack that's by this little fold-out bench he has, and he taps it with his boot, and it gives off a clink of metal, like it must be filled with tools or weapons or something. And he says, "Why don't you go ahead and take these to Dudarin for his militia?"
Certainly, and I grab them and kind of awkwardly leave right away without asking any more questions or saying anything else to him.
While you're turning and walking away, you hear like the sip of some sort of warm drink, and make your way back towards the camp. Although some people have gone, and Ivan, what are you doing in the time here? Because Meltiern has wandered off to do something, and now Dudarin has wandered off with your newfound companion Vorok. What are
My
you up
intention
to?
is still to guard the cave, but I will attempt to sort of bundle up and make it hard for people to recognize me. Kind of guard the cave entrance nearby.
Start to like pull a hood over your face and things like that?
Yeah, kind of crouch down, just look like some random person who's just camping there.
Okay, sure. So you're seated here, and you start to bundle yourself up, and Meltiern, you can see Ivan is seated here, though wearing a little bit more clothing than me.
I'll approach Ivan. Ivan, did you, where's Dudarin?
He walked off to give Vorok the tour. your Raven friend is back.
Does it, you like point him out?
I don't like point, but I kind of like gesture with my head. trying
Okay.
to-
I kind of look over in that general
A
direction.
singular raven stands atop one of the houses on
Hmm.
the hill and surveys the town.
This is troubling to say the least, but there's likely no way around this. We're going to have to find a way to deal with this, Ivan.
I was thinking the same thing. I think we should grab Dudarin and lead the Ravenouts out of town. Settle this once and for all.
Certainly an idea. All right, I will find you, Darren, then.
Okay. So, Darren, you have been leading Vorok
Oh.
for.
Also, I cast Disguise Self.
Oh, probably not a bad idea. Okay. You disguise yourself with some
Just-
magic to look like what, a commoner, or?
Random commoner.
Okay. You've shown Vorok a couple of tents, mentioning here there's a cobbler, and here this man appears to be like a woodworker. He might be useful in the coming days, that sort of thing. And moments later, what's up?
I've probably explained, like, I'm going to train a militia, keep an eye out, yada yada.
Okay, interesting. As you're saying
he-
that, a commoner comes up towards the two of you, and this commoner seems to be carrying a large bag filled with tools or weapons.
Hey, Middleton. I can tell.
Right, he can. That's right.
Yeah.
That dank
Yeah.
eyesight. I say, I just put my finger up to my lip, and I'm certain you, in a hushed tone, I'm certain you know our friend is back. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Kind of ignoring it.
Well, Ivan would like to deal with it sooner rather than later. He suggests we lead the Raven some ways out of town to deal with it. Which, granted, I don't think is the worst idea.
Are you friends with the Raven? I'm fond of animals myself.
No,
No, this Raven is
there's
the devil.
already two people in this party I have to explain things to. Please don't make it a third, Vorok.
No, the Raven is a devil that we kind of owe a debt. Well, Meneltier owes him a thing.
You signed the contract.
You broke it.
Regardless, it has been 4 days since we last rested, and Jack, he was able to acquire tools and weapons for your militia.
Oh, good. Also, 4 days?
Yes, 4 days have passed.
Oh, well. Well, as I was just telling you, Vorok, I guess this means the militia plan can get underway. Gonna have to find, the extra strong looking people that don't already do something important.
Well,
I'm
I could be
sure-
of help, but I've got my own weapon.
I'm sure you two will get along fine in the hitty and smashy aspects of your lives, but I think we have something more pertinent to deal with at the moment. You may do with these tools as you wish, but I suggest we meet back up with Ivan.
Alright, well. Should put the tools in the cave where they'll be safe.
Okay.
I'll pick him up and carry him for him.
So you meet back with Ivan here, who is standing watch by the cave, and put those tools just a little bit further past the entrance. Ivan, everybody returns.
Okay. Which direction would be, let's say, like the most isolated from the town? If we were to just walk out of town.
Interesting. Isolated. Well, there's basically fields of snow in all directions, save for the north, which goes to a pine forest.
Okay. So if we found, say, a clearing in the forest to the north,
Yeah, you could
we would
try
be
that.
kind of on our own.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I will suggest to the party that we head north to have our confrontation here.
Under the cover of the trees may not be Again, not the worst idea.
The townsfolk have already seen us fight a genie. No reason to have them see whatever is going to go on here.
Indeed. Let's go.
Okay. So the four of you are gonna just head off towards the forest.
So I'm gonna let the party kind of like get to the northern side of what is the town, I guess here.
Okay.
And like as we do that, I'll get the Raven's attention and like give it like a follow me gesture and head north.
Oh,
I will intentionally try to get its attention and give it a follow me gesture.
interesting. Okay. It takes but a brief moment of you making yourself known and taking your hood off, and the raven looks over and sees you for a brief moment, shuffling atop its building for a second, and then with a hand wave, it flies over towards you. So now it's inbound, headed for your group.
Okay. So I gesture to the group and we start heading north at a casual traveling pace.
Okay. You begin to leave the town, and while you do, you can see that different townsfolk, they greet you with quite a bit of friendly nature as you traverse through the area. It's kind of what you'd expect given the nature of events in the last few days. They turn to you, kind of giving you all the pleasantries that one possibly can give until eventually you step outside beyond the town and start to wander into the forest. And as you get into the forest, you notice that the raven follows you, though it never really gets too close, always staying maybe 30 or 60 feet away, perched on a tree branch, and then shuffling forward to the next one, and then taking flight to the next one, then the next, but it never gets too close. You've all managed to make your way... Oh, sorry, what's that?
Given my eyesight, is it like just a magical raven, or can I tell it's like a...
You know when something has transformed or is concealing its appearance, like if it's shape-shifted.
Mhm.
And you don't know what this thing's natural form is, but you can certainly tell that it's not a raven. And it is indeed shifted into something else.
Okay, that was my question. So.
You make it towards a clearing here, with all the trees around in a circle, and the raven hangs back a little bit further in the woods. What do you guys want to do?
Okay. I guess we'll kind of head into this clearing and turn, facing the raven.
Okay.
Am I getting any dream flashbacks by being in this clearing?
No, you do not.
I will shout out to the raven, or not too loud. It's like, alright, Theo, we know it's you.
The bird cocks its head for a brief moment, and then turns around, flying in the opposite direction, and then disappears beyond the trees.
This is odd.
Yes, you're a very confusing group.
Anyone else get that weird vibe that something bad's about to happen?
Yes, Darren, exactly that.
You hear a and suddenly, behind a veil of smoke that explodes out from a bush towards where the raven had left, you see a familiar figure headed in your direction. He's a man dressed incredibly well with the garb of a nobleman, but he has all of the features of Theo. His translucent skin moves eerily over the top of his muscle groups, and a couple of horns protrude from his forehead. He steps forward towards towards the group, and you can see he has in his hand what looks like a cane. He holds it with one, and with the other kind of taps his fingers on the ball that's on the end of it. He says, "Hello, hello, hello."
Hello.
Who's this
Theo.
foul creature?
Foul.
We'll get to that. He's new. Also, you didn't have to hide to transform. I can see that. So.
I don't really think it's for hiding from you, Darren. I feel like it's rather kind of a nobody wants to see a demon in public sort of thing. Or devil, rather.
Or in the forest.
He points his cane at you for a brief moment and says, smart man. We have some things to talk about. And with that, we'll go to a brief 5 or 10 minute break.
Okay.
Fucking Theo. Alright.
Like,
Back in a few, folks.
Snack time.
there is a pit in my stomach. Something
I
bad.
know.
It's,
I know.
it's either something bad is happening, or we're gonna get some really unfortunate news.
Yeah. Or maybe something really good will happen.
I bought all of you guys birthday cake.
I think
Oh,
that.
Theo,
that's
you
my
remembered.
bet. All right, be right back.
Oh, did I even make a birthday to be here? I feel like it's something I did.
Alright, I shall return in a few. Doo-doo. Ha! I returned.
Oh God!
You doing okay?
Every time you come in, it scares me.
That's what she said.
Thanks. Thanks for that. I needed that in my life.
Sorry about that. Groceries arrived while we were on break.
Ah, yes, groceries. The key is getting all of the groceries on your 2 arms and carrying them in one trip.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was the only one not back yet.
Oh. I think the only one we're missing right now is a Mr. Relic.
Oh, yeah, I meant to ask Illusion, have you figured out a solution to Monday group?
Ha!
Kill them.
Killed them all.
I mean,
TPK, the best
Every day.
solution. Rocks fall, they die.
I mean, a solution to the TPK.
Mm,
TPK them again.
well, I think they're doing alright. They have been TPK'd, and so 3 out of the 4 have made new characters. One of them will survive with a horrid injury. Or, sorry, not horrid. Actually went kind of easy on him this time. And, excuse me, I'm eating something delicious. They had a short 2.5 hour session and didn't manage to die during it, so maybe they're finally in the black. We'll see.
Oh, that was like when I checked last night. You weren't streaming, but maybe I caught it on like one of the.
No,
ones
yeah, I'm not streaming it yet. I want to make sure that their group is working properly, and then I'll stream.
Oh, okay.
I think it would be pretty entertaining to just watch them die every week. Just saying.
Just a dysfunctional group that makes like new characters every 2 or 3 weeks, and then they all die.
I mean, then you have a group that can't die and a group that can't live, or at least a character in a group that can't die.
Yin
There you go.
and yang. Oh, you know what it must be? All the times Dudarin should have died, it's taking away life from other parties.
They
Ugh.
they have some mild. Well, I think it's gone. They had some mild party drama, but we'll see.
Oh shit!
Sorted themselves out or not.
All about that party drama.
You don't want drama. No. So don't pull. Oh, delicious.
Mm-mm-mm.
Only Ivan worked. With this brief break as we wait for our dwarven friend, I will stare at more beautiful races that have come out of the...
I still want to play the McChicken.
It's a strong
There was
contender.
There was the shark skin, a shark race that I
Shark morph?
like a shark folk race that I'd seen on Reddit like probably like a year ago now, but I can't find it anywhere.
I'd be pretty surprised if somebody hadn't done that. I mean, there's so many cool creatures that you could do like a splice with. Like sharks
Well-
should definitely.
I mean, there's a shark folk race like on the D&D wiki, but like the one that I had seen forever ago was like a full like PDF created. It looked super fucking cool, and it seemed balanced.
Found a semi-related picture. I'm so sorry.
I'm not sure how I feel about.
The title for the picture is "Oh no, not again."
What happened the first time?
You don't want to know. That's the thing, Charlie.
Oh god.
Oh, I do.
No, it's a joke because of some furry bullshit or something. It's a shark
This
tits.
came from Tumblr, I see.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
There it is. I think somebody wanted to do their own depiction of shark tits, as it were. And I have to say that they nailed it. Oh no, not again.
God damn.
Seal shapeshifters. Wow.
Please no. Every person that does stuff like this needs to not be around.
Wait, Shade Blood is the diametric opposite of a Lightborn. Oh,
A what?
it's the edgiest sentence I may have ever read in my entire life.
Is that on D&D Wiki or Tumblr?
The D&D wiki. Although you could probably find it on Tumblr as well. See. Oh goodness.
I'm back.
Hey!
Woohoo.
Ivan returns to us.
Oh, this one's good. This is gonna be my new character. Slime Girl.
Slime Girl. Oh yeah, Uchi's already pining for that one. It's like, would you allow that? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And he's like, yes!
He can understand human languages, however, they talk like little children.
I mean,
I don't
it's
know
just
if-
like a sentient cube.
Sentient cube.
No, but it's shaped like a girl, hence the Slime Girl.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What have
Roast
I
your
come back
finishes.
to?
Click on the first link that I posted there, Relic. The Tumblr one.
Do it. You know you want to.
It's titled, Oh No, Not Again.
Oh, Christ.
Okay, so, shall we go and have this conversation with the devil?
The literal devil? Absolutely.
I'm sure it'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Only gonna end well.
Well, we're all here. Let's see. Welcome back, folks. So, you're all in the clearing, and Theo has just told you that he has something that he wants to talk to you about. And he stares at the four of you as you're all kind of waiting in the round, and he looks over at you, Dudarin, and he says, I need my stone back.
About that.
I trust you've... Oh? And he looks over at you, Metal Tyrann.
It was destroyed, saving our lives.
It's hard to tell because of his features and how strange and foreign they are, but you think he raises an eyebrow.
I
It was,
say nothing.
I mean, Metal Tyrann broke it. I mean, I'm glad for him saving my life. That wasn't ours. to
I
break.
figured.
He reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a small piece of metal that has like a chain connecting to it, and he stares at it for a second and puts it away, and he says, Alright. And he claps his hand twice. A poof of smoke appears next to him, and a very luxurious, leathery chair appears next to him. He sits down in it and reclines a bit as he says, well, best tell me the whole story then. Come on now. What did you do with my stone?
Well,
You're the words, man. No, I'm kidding.
that may be the smartest thing you've ever said, Dudarin. Well, after you gave us the stone, I figured how to put it into my staff. Figures the dwarves would have it magically entwine with an item by hitting it. Who would have thunk it? What happened next was rather strange. We were making our way from Vigny to Jubei, so we cut across the fields in between to the forests. We then made our way up to Len Ma, as there were, beasts in that forest of which we did not want to encounter. Heading towards Len Ma, we entered a fey forest, it would appear, in which we found a small puzzle cube. Upon closer investigation, that puzzle cube brought us to another world, I believe.
You say, as he says puzzle cube, he pauses for a second. While reclining, he had been sort of tapping his fingers together, table talk in a very Burnsian sort of way, and pauses, moving them for a second when you mention this, and he says, puzzle cube?
Indeed, and I believe that is where we may find an equal trade in that. I will get to it, mind you. Be patient.
Sorry, please continue.
Once, like I said, the puzzle cube brought us to another world. When picked up, it forced you to solve it and transported you. It brought us to what we know to be now the endless dungeons of Geofax, in which there was a sprite of sort constructed by Geofax, who informed us that endless dungeons are filled with many magical items, hundreds of magical items, hundreds of stones, similar to the ones we lost. But while progressing through the dungeons, Dudarin fell. We'll skip that, actually, now that I think about it. Dudarin wasn't able to fight for a moment in time. Zai had fallen, and Ivan had become terribly ill. I was the last one standing against a group of ghouls. Tapped of my magical prowess, I had no option but to force my power through the stone. It allowed me to send out one more magical blast of energy, but it sadly destroyed the stone in the process. There are other things that happened while we were in the dungeons, but not very pertinent to what happened to the stone. But to say, we were able to leave and eventually made our way here to Valu.
Well, he turns over towards you, Dudarin, and he says, this wouldn't be the first time that I've gifted something or lent an item which was subsequently broken. I hope you know, by terms of the contract which you signed, remember, that you owe me this, given that it is now gone, or at least an equivalent. And I assume you haven't come across a second coral turquoise in your travels, have you?
We have not, but, like I said, the puzzle cube. I think it may be of some interest to you. Yes, Ivan?
I have a bit of an issue handing over a portal to a magical world to a devil.
You see that a bird arrives once again. The raven flies into view and lands on the ground near Theo, just kind of at his feet in this leathern chair. He turns over for a second and looks at it, and the bird seems to squawk something to him, and then Theo stands up. The chair disappears into smoke, and he says, "I'll let you all talk this over. I have something I need to attend to. I'll be back in a few minutes." And then he turns to walk around a tree, and you hear a poof, and he disappears.
Ivan, we are indebted to him, however much you may dislike that. Dudarin signed a contract. I believe by giving him this cube, we may rid ourselves of Theo once and for all. If you...
find another one.
Aha. We could just find another one. Do you happen to know where we can find coral turquoises, Dudarin?
I meant the puzzle box.
I don't think there's another one of these.
We won't
Something
be-
tells me.
I mean, we know there's another one. It's in the dungeon.
Manaltier is just
Could be more.
face in palm, shaking his head.
Might go to different worlds.
Perhaps, but
We
there's
do
only
know there
one.
are other sovereign stones in there as well. Table talk when we were questioning Elena the first time, she said there were like 150 or something sovereign stones.
Something like that. 150, 200,
So
something
it was a
crazy.
handsome number.
It was a considerable number, yeah.
So you
Poor
should be
Elena.
happy with that.
Still not even sure that we really owe this Theo anything at all, but
We signed a contract. Well, rather,
contract
Dudarin
saying
did.
what?
I don't know. Dudarin didn't read it.
Well, there's your issue.
I didn't sign it.
Well, it was. I mean, the other option was go into the plane of fire and
No,
know.
there.
The option
The
was to
other
walk away.
That was an option.
that's
You
not how
dare.
Dan remembers it.
Would you kindly make for me a straight intelligence roll?
Sure.
Lucky goodness. That's not bad.
That is a 15.
Okay. You can remember some bits about the contract, and indeed, there were portions of it written in Abyssal, so you didn't get...
Infernal.
Oh, sorry, Infernal. Yeah, we swapped that. So you didn't get the whole thing. But you remember something like this. The item, the coral turquoise, was to be lent to your group as a gesture of good faith and to be returned back to Theo on the condition that you hear him out when handing it back and that he get the chance to offer you a piece of work. That was the whole bit that you remember, and that was the original contract under which you acquired this item for a temporary bit of time. It was so that Theo could offer you some work later on in the future. So he wanted to keep you all under his thumb, I guess you could say. That being said, you didn't read what the rules were for exploding the stone, and here we are.
Damn you, hindsight.
Damn you, Heinz. Well,
Well, I mean, what's the worst he could do with a puzzle box to a different world?
Well,
That
based on
isn't
what we
this
know,
world.
there's quite a few magical artifacts in there. And he seems like the kind of person that would use it for things of a possibly evil nature, maybe.
Just maybe.
If there are magical items in the box, they're for Vorok to get, not some gross devil.
oh Christ.
Point being, we would be trading away something of extreme
Greater
value. Greater
Indeed.
value.
Maybe
to
he'll
demon
die in
that-
there.
Ivan would always hope for that.
Last hopeful Theo died on level 1. He died in the tutorial.
Push him into the gelatinous cube.
There you go.
The first skeleton in the little arena.
Well, Ivan, what do you suggest we do then?
Well, side note, Lucian.
Yes.
Would Ivan know anything about devil contracts on just a general basis?
You might know a little about them. What's the nature of your question, your inquiry?
What happens if you attempt to break it? So, like,
Oh.
in this case, Darren signed a contract saying that he would give the Sovereign Stone back.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
unable to fulfill that end.
It's different. You happen to know, without need of a roll, that the contracts of devils are they're very varied, and they can widely range from having to give away your firstborn children to just a small bit of gold, and it's anybody's guess. However, you do know one thing, and that's that almost across the board, that all devilish contracts will come with some sort of negative attachment to it. And the whole tricking people through contractual means is a very, very
MO.
common thread in pretty much every story that involves a devilish contract.
Well, I really prefer not to give this devil anything at all. Simply walk away. Tell him that's unfortunate that he trusted such a valuable item with the party that we lost. And it's fault.
Certainly. Middleton is kind of laughing to himself. Go, try that. See what happens.
But I strongly oppose giving him the puzzle box. That's simply a terrible idea.
I do not wish to give him the puzzle box, but don't exactly have anything to trade with him right now.
Well,
Boron,
Sure,
you
you're-
said you lived with dwarves. You don't happen to have a sovereign stone on you, do you?
I definitely do not.
Huh. All right. Well, I suppose we can wait for Theo to return then.
So the group reaches a non-conclusion.
Ivan pulls out a platinum piece. Wait for Theo to return.
Okay, sure. So there's a bit of uneasy wait time here as another minute or two goes by, and in silence you sort of stand around until eventually a familiar poof, and Theo reappears. He steps forward, his cane hanging off a small belt loop of his, and he says, "Well, sorry about that. Things are squared away now, and we can talk business." You were saying
What
something
exactly
about a
did you
puzzle
have to
box.
What exactly did you have to square away?
Oh, I have some messages to send.
Hmm.
Ah,
It's all very dry and boring. I'm sure you wouldn't enjoy it. But
Hmm.
anyway, you were mentioning something about a puzzle box, were you?
oh, that's not important anymore. We've managed to acquire something that equates in value to the stone you had lent us so that the contract can be completed successfully. And I flick him a platinum piece.
Go ahead and make for me a dexterity roll.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That one.
The platinum piece kind of slips in your grip here as you go to toss it, and it lands right about in between the two of you. So Theo's maybe, like 40 feet away from you, and it's like 20 feet short and just lands in the grass there. And Theo kind of looks down at it, and he looks up, and he says, "That stone was worth a great deal more than a platinum coin, though."
No, I
Thank
think one
you.
platinum coin.
He turns over to you, Darren, and says, "This will not do. Surely this isn't your decision."
I just kind of look down around. I was like, what was that?
Just mumble into the ground. Theo pauses for a second and he says, "Now that the contract has been broken, Zudairn, I
No,
hope
no.
you know
Been
that
completed.
no, this is
One platinum piece.
the equivalent of this coral turquoise is decidable by me and me alone. It's written in the contract, and you see he holds out a hand, and a piece of magical parchment poofs into existence. You're welcome to read it if you wish, but it's there. Plain as
Let's take
anyone
a
can see.
look.
I'd like, yeah, I was about to say, I'd like to read it. I can read Infernal too, so.
Well, it's difficult to slog through, but as the piece of paper is handed over and you begin to read through it, your Infernal lessons pay off, and you can see that indeed it calls for an equivalent, or a coral turquoise. So it seems the only specific item that is not determined by Theo himself that you could offer up to fill the contract would be a coral turquoise. Otherwise, it's up to him to decide. And you
And what
also
does it-
realize that if this isn't paid, that Dudaren's soul belongs to Theo.
For
Ever.
ever, okay.
Reading the
Eternity.
contract again, is there a deadline on when he needs a coral turquoise back?
Oh, interesting.
Or, like, is he simply showing up saying that the deadline is now, but the contract doesn't specify?
The contracts, it ends when Theo comes back to offer you the work and to finish up this contract. So you guys are basically experiencing the end date right now at this present moment.
Are you reading this aloud?
Yes, mental turn would be like in kind of like quick, like firstborn son.
The left nipple, specifically.
And does it say his Dudaren's soul upon death, or like upon failure of the contract?
Oh, it says upon failure of the contract. Specifically, if negotiations cannot be met and the item cannot be repaid, then Dudaren's soul will, from that point on, belong to Theo. It doesn't say anything about killing him or anything like that, but his soul will apparently belong to him. You're not really sure what that leads to, but given that you're a cleric of Tilva, or
that's a
Tyr
good
in the
question.
past, doesn't really seem all that great. And sorry, what's up, Dudaren?
That's a good question then. If I'm, quote, end quote, chosen of Tilva, won't that conflict with his ownership of my soul?
Quite possibly. I don't know if you want to play that hand.
I mean, can we,
So
like
that's-
table talk, I guess.
That's up to
Dude,
you.
Darren
Dudaren
has
is not
already
the
died.
smart one. Dudaren cannot figure this out.
You have quite the
Right.
predicament laid out in front of you, and if you need time to table talk your way through it, please do. Now is the time.
I think the Tilva angle is a good angle.
If not, we give him the puzzle box.
I puzzle box on a timed basis. You can have the puzzle box say for a week, a month, but not forever. I think that would be a good.
What if he
Great.
has it? What if he can keep the puzzle box as long as we had the Sovereign Stone?
No.
Which, I mean, wasn't that long.
Okay,
It's
I
like a
see what you're
season,
saying.
Depends
wasn't
from
it?
whose perspective.
Oh, right, it does. It does matter whose perspective, doesn't it?
Well, then, I mean, at the very least, he'll care about the stuff in the dungeon and probably,
Mhm.
well, either send minions in there to,
Collect
yeah, or
Power level.
power level.
yeah,
Mhm.
he'll send
Loot grind.
he'll send minions in there to get what he can out of it until
Oh
he
god,
has like
no.
an
Because he'll send minions
equivalent.
in there, and if he's like really fucking sneaky, the
Well, he
dungeon's
could
obviously
just
gonna hear
do
this. He might
waves
think
and
about it.
waves.
He'll leave minions in there to kill us next time we go in.
Well, and he's probably got endless supplies of people that can go down there, and for all we know, there's stuff more powerful than Sovereign Stones in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, he could
I mean-
leave minions in there to prevent us from completing any levels of the dungeon
Devils,
next time we go back.
Devils love contracts, so we could create a complex contract.
Yeah.
He
But we,
might
like,
Yeah. What if we usually wrote something like made a contract that he can have the puzzle box until he acquires stuff, say double the value of one sovereign stone out of it, and then he gives it back.
Equal to.
Equal to one sovereign stone as
Mhm.
determined by the party.
There we go.
He's probably not gonna go for that.
That's why I said double. Because maybe he'll be okay with double.
No, but it's how you determine value of a sovereign stone,
Right.
right? It's
Fucking
completely subjective
rare.
unless there's like a standard.
Well, unless you just say a sovereign stone, it doesn't have to be a coral turquoise.
Could
I mean,
you just
but-
offer him like use of the puzzle box, not to keep it? Because he can just
Yeah,
show up
we
and
could
like
rent
make
it to
people
him, but,
snap
like,
into
That's what I'm
place.
saying.
Well, the problem is, how do we even enforce that unless like we're using his magic to make it a magical contract?
Well, he. Well, he's a devil. No,
Mm.
he's a devil. A
he's
part-
he's totally trustworthy.
he's lawful evil. He abides by at the very least he's supposed to
Super
abide
nice.
by contract.
He's like your best employer.
Both evil but contractually obligated.
Evil but an honest guy.
That's the dream manager.
Well, like, I mean, but think of it like this: if we put in the contract to say like until he gets a sovereign stone, who knows what else he'll get out of there
Yeah,
before he
like
gets
he
the
could
sovereign
go
stone.
through the dungeon and just ignore any sovereign stone he sees and get everything else.
Well, to put all items other than sovereign stones are owed to the party.
That would be have Theo clear the dungeon for us and farm the items that aren't sovereign stones.
It's
Oh,
an
man.
option.
If I wasn't a cleric, I'd probably go for that.
I mean, we get options here.
Mm-hmm.
None of them amazing.
Right. Well, I mean,
Okay,
when you,
what if
when
we
you
do
break
this?
devil contracts, nothing's really amazing.
That's a good point to make. That's a good
Mhm.
point.
To just never make double contracts in the first place? Cough cough.
Uh,
I mean, we could try
We
the
could-
Tilva angle and back it up with a contract.
we could see if we just did the
Illusion.
work he wanted us to do.
Could it be argued that Theo made the contract with Dudarin prior to when he was resurrected to Tilva, and that like the Dudarin we have now is like a new soul almost, or a
could-
different soul?
If you want to make that argument to your devilish friend here, you're more than welcome to.
That's a
I mean, is
good
there like
angle.
religious precedent that Ivan could like draw from to like make it seem believable?
If you want to try and play that off, then by all
Mhm.
means.
I did die and was resurrected by a god. That should
So-
make me God's property.
He's technically not the same Dudarin.
That's my point. It's a new Dudarin who's got a piece of Tilpa in him or
Mhm.
something.
I mean, I think that's our best shot because I don't think we can make a contract that he'd be okay with.
I think we would be able to.
I mean, as a backup though, make a really complex contract involving renting the puzzle box. Like table talk, like
Table
I would
talk.
rather fight Theo than give him the puzzle box outright.
I feel like Meneltyrn's the only one cunning enough to actually make this contract, although I
Yeah.
might suggest it. And B, I think that Meneltyrn's also the only one who would really just give him, well, not the only one, but he's just pining to just hand him over the box.
He doesn't want to hand it over. He wants to be done with this, and he realizes that breaking the stone and breaking a devil contract, there's not a lot of options.
The prophecy kind of ends here if you forfeit Dudarin's soul. No more reading the stars. It just says you done fucked up. Interesting. Theo
There's no
summons his
tell-
chair and has a seat and sees that you're all keenly pondering away in a group huddle, and he occasionally looks over at this piece of metal that he pulls from his coat, but otherwise he just waits patiently.
Well, there's like owning my soul is very vague. So like, there's no telling what he could
I feel like it's
essentially
not that
force
vague.
me to do. by owning my soul, you know? And I need to look after this town, so I
Mhm.
can't be giving my soul.
Right. I think we're all pretty in agreement on that.
So Tilva with backup contracts?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Sure. Well, if you guys have a
I
thing
am
to say to him.
I am currently drafting a contract. Meneltier steps away from the group and takes out a piece of paper and a quill and begins writing.
Okay. What do you write on this piece of parchment?
Okay. So Meneltier is gonna write, "We, the lucky bastards, bequeath unto Theo and Theo alone use of the puzzle box up until the point at which he has collected 2 sovereign stones. All items other than sovereign stones shall be either released to the dungeon or the lucky bastards." I'm gonna give me a minute because I wanna add a little bit more.
Okay.
But that's the general open of it.
All
Make
right.
sure you write it in Infernal.
Good point.
I'd like you to go ahead and make an insight roll for me, please, Meneltier.
Insight,
Yes.
Please let this be like your one good roll.
right?
We're bad, so we just think it'll work.
That's 12 plus something. I haven't really rolled much. 14.
Throughout one's life, there are times where decisions are made and paths are taken, and sometimes they feel wrong and sometimes they feel right. There's something correct, almost, that you feel just writing this contract in Infernal.
Okay.
It's just a note. While you're scribbling along, partway through, you have this recognition. You go, this feels right. This feels good.
Mm-hmm.
What you make of that is up to you.
Right. I'm gonna let them kind of go into their conversation about Tilva.
Sure.
As he's writing, I guess I'll turn to Theo. But, question, Theo.
Of course.
Then I'll like, what if? And I'll just like kind of ask, Ivan for help explaining this.
Oh, is Darren's chest currently bare?
No, but you
I
could
can
bear
make it though.
Yeah, I'll kind of gesture for him to open up his charter armor there or whatever.
Okay, sure.
I will bear my chest.
Theo stops moving his fingers for a second and stares at you like you're crazy people.
So things have changed since you last saw Darren, Theo. His soul is no longer his to give. He is in service to Tilda, and should you wish to lay claim to his soul, you in turn lay claim to a soul in service to Tilda.
He stares at this, and you see... Go ahead and make an insight roll for me, please, there, both of you.
A 16.
16, okay, so you're good. That's janked. You can reroll that.
Oh, love jank dice.
Roll
Jank
that nat
dice.
20.
The bread and butter of tabletop.
That is an 11.
Okay. Dude, Aaron, you're not really sure what the look is, but Ivan, you know what Theo is thinking here, at least on the surface. As you go to explain this, he looks a little bit perplexed for a moment, and you can tell that, perhaps not confounded, but put like a slight wrench in his plans. He stares over at Dudarin for a second, and he says to him, Dudarin, tell me, were you a devout follower of Tilva before or after signing this contract?
Well, It kind of started when she brought me back to life.
And this happened before or after the contract? Did you have the
After.
stone after? I see. Well, as it is right now, that will not save you. I'm sorry. Actually, sorry. I'm not sorry. You had already placed your soul in a contractual limbo of sorts. A bit difficult to explain, but the bottom line is that although you have decided to become a worshipper of Tilva, your soul will still belong to me if we cannot come to an agreement here.
I think Mental Tieren's working on that.
Yes.
One minute.
can I tell Theo
Meneltian
bluffing?
throws his hand in the air. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Are you finished yet, Elf?
Not. You wait your time, devil. Yeah.
Alright, fair enough. He turns
Oh,
over
pardon.
and looks at you, Ivan, and he says, a good try, though.
Can I tell if he's bluffing? If like that actually did work, but he's trying to
Yeah,
get us
roll
to give
insight.
us Okay.
Let's see. Oh, close
That's
to a
annoying.
20.
That was so close.
You're not sure if he's bluffing or not.
Oh, by the way, Vorik, that is Theo. We have had many dealings with him. He is alright.
I don't understand how you can think a devil is alright.
Kind of give Varroka a thumbs up. Guy knows
Well-
what's going on.
Well, you know, before the whole, like, wanting my soul thing was... Okay.
What's your name, Goliath?
My name is
I'm not-
Vorok Stonebreaker.
Borak. Theo, it's a pleasure to meet you. Your companions here, I don't know how long you've known them for, but they've done business with me before, actually. It's only recently that they've become so unfriendly.
Not
It is
sure.
troubling that you would do
Unfriendly.
business with the Devil Dudairn. Though I do see the mark of Tilva on your chest.
I lead a, exotic life.
Live fast, motherfucker.
Was it a spit take there?
Are you done your contract, Mental Tier?
I think it's as done as it's gonna be.
Okay, sure. Read it out or send it to me or whichever.
Okay. Well, I wrote it on a piece of paper, so that ain't gonna get sent. But
Gotcha.
Meneltier. Yeah. I'll fax it. What's your fax number? Meneltier stands up, holding the piece of paper in his hand, holding it by each corner, kind of stretching it out, and he begins approaching Theo, and he just starts explaining the contract, assuming Theo will recognize what it is. We, the lucky bastards, bequeath unto Theo and Theo alone use of this puzzle box, holding the puzzle box,
Okay.
up until the point at which Theo collects 2 sovereign stones from the endless dungeons of Geofax. All items other than sovereign stones will be returned to the dungeon or the lucky bastards. By signing this contract, Theo hereby releases all contracts or contractual obligations beholden unto any member of the lucky bastards. Upon completion of this contract, Theo may, at his own discretion, attempt to give work to the lucky bastards, of which they may decline. And then I just kind of swing it around and because this whole time I've been walking towards him, kind of hand it to him.
He takes
Now-
the piece of paper and looks at it. He says, your infernal's not bad.
I'll just
Thank you.
shout out. I was like, oh, he's a lucky bastard too, by the way. And I point to Varrock.
Yeah, he looks up from the paper for a second and says, yes, yes. Reaching down into his coat pocket, he takes out a pair of spectacles and stares at the paper for a second. And he turns back to you and he says, not a bad contract. However, what guarantee have I that there are sovereign stones in this puzzle box to begin with? Would you write a clause saying that there would at least be 2?
I would write a clause that there would be at least 2. We have a verbal confirmation from the dungeon that there are at least 2 sovereign stones. And I would be happy and willing to write a clause saying so. And I take the contract and I write it in.
you can keep it. An interesting offer. But I think I might just take Dudaren's soul, to be perfectly honest. An interesting move, though. Nice try, Meneltyrn. But I think owning somebody who's important to Tilva might be a better bargaining chip than your couple of sovereign stones or whatever it was.
Increase the number.
He looks over at you, Dudaren, for a moment, kind of scratching his chin for a second, and his eyes stare at you with like an almost predatory gaze, like a lion would look down a gazelle in the savannah before devouring it.
Is there anything I can draw from him, like just his body language, what he's saying, that would indicate what would essentially sweeten the contract enough?
Yeah, roll insight. Let's see what you can gather.
Oh boy.
By the way, I'm gonna
15.
put my armor back up. It's cold.
Okay.
His
You
nipples
think-
are pointy.
Excuse me. You think that Theo is certainly considering the puzzle box, and he actually is bluffing to some extent. He is interested in it. But you're not sure to what lengths he will go to get it, and you're not sure whether or not he would accept it if you moved it to 3 sovereign stones per se, but he is interested in it. It's not completely off the table.
Meneltyrn sighs heavily. Fine, you are a hard bargainer, and he goes through the contract. He crosses out 2 sovereign stones to 3, and he says, instead of all items other than sovereign stones must be returned, he'll say all other items other than sovereign stones up to 5 magical items may be kept by Theo.
Table talk, his choice.
His choice.
My choice.
You are a hard bargainer. And I say, you do realize, though, that this contract completes once you receive 2 sovereign stones.
He stares at for you for a moment here, and
3.
Or 3, my apologies.
he says, I've not seen inside this puzzle box, and I'm loath to agree to take something that I don't know when I could have something so valuable that I do know. He stares over at Dudaren. You're moving in the right direction, but I think I would rather just keep Dudaren. Now, given that your next move is likely to increase the number further, and I'm going to turn you down there as well, how about I give you a counteroffer?
I'm listening.
You can either surrender Dudaren's soul to me, or you can give me the puzzle box. No conditions attached. None of this. Though I did like your writing. You have a gift. You should focus on that some more. Do a bit more work like that. Sorry. But there are some other things that I would accept instead of the soul or the puzzle box. I do have 2 items of work that you could take up for me, and I would be willing to take away all of the debt. Dudaren's soul would be free to worship Tilva or whatever it is that he wishes to do, and all strings would be detached. But I will say that these 2 bits of work are going to be reasonably challenging.
Can we know what they are first?
Certainly. One of which is a group of people that I need killed. If you can take care of that, then Dudaren will be free. And the other is an item that I need retrieved. I will tell you more, perhaps, but I wish to hear, what do you say to the matter?
Who are these people that you need killed?
Just a nuisance. A group that it's been a bit of a thorn in my side for a little while. I'll give you all the information that you need. I'll tell you the places I've seen them and give you their descriptions and all, but not until we've agreed that that is the next move.
And what item?
I
do
cross
you
my
seek?
arms. I will need to know who it is that you wish killed before I agree to anything.
Well, that one
It's
might be off
another-
the table then. The other one is an item that I need. I
The
happen to know
Dark
where.
Star?
Very good. You have a fine memory. Yes. It's in the Plane of Fire. Exactly where, I do not know, but apparently, according to my sources, it's rather close to the Brass City. It's a fabled, legendary city Meneltirian, you may have heard of. I won't escort you there or anything, but I will give you directions as concise as I can, and if you can return this to me, then Dudaren's soul will be, once again, his to have.
Lucian, do I know what the Dark Star is? I forget.
No, you don't.
Okay. What exactly is the Dark Star?
It's but a magical item, much like a Sovereign Stone.
Much like a Sovereign Stone. But of what use does it purport to you?
A few things.
Like?
Nothing I care to divulge. Anyway, that's it. There's those 2 pieces of work. You can hand me his soul, or you can give me the puzzle box. But this other contract you've drawn up, not so interested in.
Okay, so tabletop.
Yes.
Getting the Dark Star is a very risky move for Theo, because if I die, he gets nothing.
Well, you still get your soul.
Look at your soul.
Shush.
Soul ain't going anywhere.
It's like a win-win, you know? The best contracts are win-wins.
This is just my player intuition, but I'm fairly sure the group he wants killed is another one of the player groups.
That's just gonna be a big logistical problem.
I wouldn't put it past Solution.
I don't see what's wrong with a little PvP on occasion. You ever heard of Monday Group?
No, they died.
Right. No one will ever hear them.
Goddamn.
3, I'm okay with the not having a puzzle box. It's a lot less morally ambiguous than the other options. Because he might spend the rest of his time getting shit out of the puzzle box and never deal with us again.
Well, he wouldn't need to deal with you again, because all bets would be off, right? You'd be free.
And he would have all the magical items he needs.
I mean, like in character, I was not going to want to give up the puzzle box because he sees it as far too valuable to give to Theo.
But if his party convinces him.
I mean, we were in the fire plane for all but 5 minutes, and you
We
remember
all-
that.
And someone
It
died.
was fine. Rest in peace, Sai.
I mean, also table talk. Puzzle boxes have been known to wander off, lack of a better word.
Yeah, so he might not even have it for like a day.
Yeah.
He might put it on a
But,
shelf
like-
and boom, it's gone.
It's more of the, like, we know that this thing has extremely valuable magical items.
I mean, no guarantee that him or
I mean,
his
we got an
minions
arrow
will
and a
ever
couple of
survive the
potions.
dungeon.
Yeah. But if Theo has full control, he can send in just like legions of people that like he owns until he eventually gets
Legions
everyone
of
else.
regular, everyday folk that he tricks into contracts.
Nothing like a hero.
Yeah,
Thousands
Sounds
of
like that's what he
people
does for a
die.
living.
Yeah.
I know the puzzle box seems like a good option.
It's a good, quick, and easy option.
Because then think about it later, we can go get the Dark Star ourselves, and we have a bargaining chip if he ever decides to rear his ugly head again.
Ooh,
It
getting
is technically
pricey.
true.
And we have access to the fire plane. If he wants to send someone else in after it, he'll have to like talk to us. Unless he can just go there.
Theoretically, yeah.
You guys don't know the extent of Theo's powers, but
Mhm.
he can summon chairs, so he must be big shit. Nice leathery ones.
Summon furniture, man.
Yeah.
Something
Damn,
That's
tells,
top tier shit.
something tells me though, trying to
Summon
murder
leather and chair is a 9th level spell.
something tells me trying to kill a devil who can summon chairs isn't going to be an easy feat.
Really, the puzzle boxes are less worrisome option.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause we don't know. He's not gonna tell us who we have to kill until
Mm-hmm.
until we agree. And
Right.
Ivan won't do it for more reasons. I'm a hero. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Menel Tiern is going to go to Theo. He's going to say, "Can I see the Dark Star contract?"
Oh, well, I haven't quite written it yet.
Well, I don't see how you expect us to sign something that you haven't written.
No, just, I was coming up with ideas.
Mm.
If you want some more detail, though, we could do something like, let's say, I give you the destination. If you can complete it within a certain amount of time, can negotiate on what a reasonable frame would be. Then all will be solved. And as a motivating factor, if not solved, your 4 souls would be forfeit to me, something like that.
4. Yes. So this is why I would like to see the contract beforehand.
Indeed, well, I just told you what I would put on it. Meneltiern. I know that you and I haven't been doing business with one another for quite as long as I and Dudarin over there, but I've been very forthcoming about things and reasonable.
To an extent.
Insult me.
For some reason, I don't feel too bad about that.
And perhaps you are the best or the worst businessman. Either way, I think that would be the general gist of things. Does that not sound agreeable to you? It'd be a small touch of work for, releasing your friend's soul. I couldn't help but notice back there that you had a bit of a project going with a small town and everything. Quite the responsibility. It'd be rather difficult, don't you think, if something were to happen to your one-armed hero over there?
Can I hear him?
Make a perception check.
I'm not. If I can hear him, I'm about to let him threaten my town.
If you get a 10 or higher, you hear what he says.
You hear him.
Yes, you can hear him. He's speaking in a bit of a lower voice to Meneltiern, but he's not really whispering or anything, so you're able to get every word.
I would have shouted at him, like, "You do not touch Baloo."
I didn't say I would. I said simply that the town might suffer were you not there to take care of it. And, well, if you give me your soul, then I surely have other work for you to do than tend to this small group of people. A thing to consider.
A thing to consider, yes. What was it? What was that, Darren? Mumbling at the ground.
Give him fucking puzzle box.
Have fun. Have fun.
I will not. I will not allow our actions, regardless of the percentage of responsibility, to hurt a full town of people.
I'd love to be Vorok here, just like, what the fuck is going on?
So confused.
I'm just not gonna say anything. There's clearly some crazy garbage happening.
Ivan, I know you have issues with it, but I assume you have more issues than with letting a town waste away.
Are you saying this aloud to him?
Yes.
Theo looks over and says, "Tell you what. You give me the puzzle box, and perhaps I give you a mild something else in return, on top of your soul." That seems a little bit better, don't you think? A sweetening of the deal, as Elf once put it. He looks over at you, Meneltier.
Meneltier just looks at him, doesn't say anything.
Just like a grumpy cat face.
I grunt at him like what?
I like the stark contrast between the ordeals of Ivan Iron Fist and Yuri Iron Fist, who's off building a sled going down a snowy cliff somewhere.
I mean, it's a pretty good contrast. You got Ivan, the responsible brother.
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion on the item?
But I want to hear what he has to suggest, though.
Well, it could be a number of things. I mean, if you need information, perhaps I could acquire that for you. I have a couple of ears and eyes here and there. If you were looking for items or were down on your luck for wealth, I could perhaps offer something. Not too much, of course. I think Dudaren's soul is a pretty heavy bargaining chip, but, you know, maybe a little something on the side.
What is your suggestion, Dudaren?
Here, come with me, would you? And you see Theo goes to extend a hand to you, General Tyrion. He says, why don't you all come with me and we'll speak somewhere a little bit nicer than this frigid forest we've been standing in for so long. I'll get you all a drink, maybe something to eat.
I'm quite comfortable where I'm standing.
That's the thing
Can
about
I-
winter, Theo. You get used to the cold.
Can I get a chair for you or something? Perhaps a nice roaring fire?
I
Is he
think.
speaking to any of us individually, or?
Yeah, he's just looking at the rest of you, like just the whole group.
I don't know of your previous dealings with this devil, but I wish nothing from him.
Oh, the chair would be free of charge.
Kind of glare at him.
I see.
I kind of turn to Metal Chair and try and do like a small huddle.
You see that
huddle.
Theo sighs audibly, goes, and he sits back down in his chair.
So table talk. That's in character.
I fucking love this.
No, that's just we're in character, but every time we huddle, we say in table talk.
So,
Oh goddamn.
Do you think we could add a clause to the contract when we hand over the puzzle box that Theo could not enter or interfere with Valu at all? Kind of ensure that he.
ooh, there's a
Interfere with
very
his movements.
interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
I
if you
mean-
guys like what you guys are gonna choose, but Ivan, you're kind of on fire here. You guys, well, actually, you've all had some
Okay.
pretty great ideas.
Mm-hmm. I think we can do that and expand on it so that perhaps in season 2 there can be some poor consequences for Theo. That being said, he is not allowed to interfere with Valu or any
Descendant
or
from it.
any kingdom ruled by Dudaren or his descendants.
I
You
think
can't-
just saying that, just having that clause would be enough
Right.
of a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for this one-armed man to start making babies.
Yeah.
Find me a whore.
And clause in there that it's Theo and anyone in Theo's service cannot interfere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay,
Yeah.
Theo, give me a moment, and I begin writing up this clause to the agreement of handing over the puzzle box.
Okay, sure. So, if I understand it correctly, it's that he can't mess with Baloo
He cannot. So
or
think-
any
I
place
think-
ruled over by one of the descendants of Dudaren.
Dudaren or his descendants, and I think we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And write
I
it
think
so Theo couldn't use like minions as a proxy or something.
exactly.
Right. Like
So
Yeah.
Theo, any of his minions can't.
no, should make that broader, like Theo and his associates.
Theo, there you go. Theo and his associates. None of Theo and his associates can interfere or enter any territory owned by or ruled over by Dudaren or his descendants.
Okay. Will you hand this over to Theo to look at?
Yeah.
Are you writing it in Infernal?
Absolutely. It's the only thing devil contracts can be written in.
He takes a look at it for a second with his spectacles once again, and he looks it over, and
And while he's looking it over, I say, with arms crossed, this is all we request in return for the puzzle box.
I think your request is too steep. I have no idea.
Steep.
Well, I mean, look at what he's accomplished in just one lifetime here.
Look at his arm!
Indeed, but he already has hundreds of people ready to follow him wherever.
Theo, you will profit from that puzzle box more than any of my descendants will.
Tell you what, I will not interfere with the town of Valoo ever until time immemorial stops. I will not lay a finger on it. None of my associates, as you've termed it in the contract, will ever go there. They won't come within 100 meters of the place. However, this bit about all your descendants and their lands, that's a bit much. I don't know how
About
busy
the
you
next?
intend to get in the next little while.
How about the next 3 generations?
Make a persuasion roll, please.
Oh god, I'm No, I've got a +1.
He's got a +1, he says, on like the most important roll that it could affect hundreds of lives.
God damn it.
Fuck. Why?
Theo looks at you and he says, "How about just Valoo and I give you 100 gold?"
How about you nor any of your associates, etc., interfere with anything, with Valoo or any territories owned by it, and well as this party, Lucky Bastards. Nothing about descendants.
So is this a temporary thing? Let's say, Master Dwarf, you head off and go to rule over a town for a period of time and then perish a few hundred years later. Is the town then no longer included in the contract?
When he,
By our wording, by the
I
wording,
might not have
yes.
phrased that properly. I was talking about the Lucky Bastards are immune and then Valoo is immune. As well as any
Like he
territory owned
won't
by
come
Valoo.
after you under any circumstance.
Right.
Oh.
But we're
Interesting.
immune, and then as well as the entire town and any land owned by the entity of Valoo.
Ah, I see.
I
How
would
about
probably
you make for
consult
me?
Meltyran to word it in such a way that's not town or city, but like
Meanwhile, while
governmental
everybody's
entity.
saying things, Middleton is just crossing things out and writing new things. And
More scribbles. No, not that. More scribbles.
I hand him a new piece of paper out of his pack.
Okay. Go ahead and make for me a persuasion roll, please, Ivan.
Oh dear.
Do better than me, please.
I got a -5 to that.
Oh,
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 There we
I think I
go.
have like a -1, so that's a 16.
God damn it. Okay. So you propose that he stay away from Valoo forever, and likewise your group, just for this generation. So until the day that you all die, he will not mess with you in one bit, nor his associates or anything like that. And Theo pauses for a second. Pauses. And he thinks, and he thinks. And he thinks, and he thinks, and he thinks. And then he looks up at you and he says, I like the sound of that. I think we may have a deal, Dwarf. What do you all say?
I finish drafting up the final contract, and on one half I put my signature and I pass it around to the rest of them to sign their signatures. And then
it's really just Darren that has to sign it.
well, it's he won't mess with all of us.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Under
given that
any
you're all the
circumstances?
Given that you're all the parties involved, you'll need to all put your signatures on there. So the way it's written in certain language without any hidden stuff, it says that Dudaren's soul will be freed of this previous contract, which he had broken and then gotten stuck into. And you will also secure invulnerability for yourselves until the days that you all die, and the town of Valoo for eternity. From Theo. on top of
Mhm.
giving him the
And
puzzle box.
I would have asked Meltern as he was writing it that it's not Town of Valoo, but the
Valoo.
just Valoo.
Just Valoo.
Like,
That's Valoo. Okay.
It-
So even if it becomes like the country of Valoo, he can't.
Shut
right,
up.
like the city,
Yes.
like the city or village, it would
Shut
still
up,
be
guys.
just
Don't-
Valoo.
Don't let Hallucian in on the plans.
Okay.
Even
With
though
that
he'd
written in there
likely-
so that it could be like a kingdom, like expanding, or a country, he agrees.
All right.
Okay.
Valoo needs to
Does
conquer the
everybody
world
else
now.
agree?
Yes. Meneltern signs. He leaves room at the top for Dudarin to sign.
I write in the largest, most eloquent signature that I can manage with my good arm. Dudarin was left-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody signs the contract, and with that, you see, despite the fact that you haven't channeled any magic into it at all, that the infernal writing seems to light up for a second, and then the scroll rolls itself up, and then disappears from
Mhm.
existence. And Theo extends his hand towards you to take the puzzle box. Do you hand it
Mhm.
over to him?
I take the puzzle box and I place it in his hand.
Hey, Table Talk, I got a question.
Yes.
Does this immunity mean that I can take my axe out and try to cleave him in half and he can't attack me?
We didn't write a clause for that, so
Under the terms of the contract, yes, you could, and he couldn't retaliate. I don't know if your character would
Interesting.
understand that, but yes, table talk that does apply.
Also, he could probably just poof out of here.
He takes the puzzle box for a second, but he's no dullard. He has a cloth in his hand that he uses to grab it, and he nestles it for a second, and then stuffs it into his coat, and the bulge there that contains the puzzle box seemingly just like disappears, as though it's gone into some other dimension. He says, "Well, I must thank you all very much.
Mhm.
Dudarin, please enjoy your lifetime, and all of you. I will let you be.
Mhm.
However, if you should ever wish to do work with me, you're more than welcome to call on me. But as per this contract, I shall not cause any harm to yourself, and I will not step foot anywhere near this town of Valoo. It's yours."
Be gone, devil, and I'll try to shove him over.
He takes a deft step away from you as you kind of posture towards him, and he says, "Jeez, fine then," and turns away, and poof, he's gone.
Well, that matter is settled.
I feel better.
And I look to both
How does Ivan
Dudarin-
feel?
I look to both Dudarin and Ivan, and I say, and so begins the long and storied history of the country of Valoo.
And I'm just gonna turn to the rest of the party. Not really Vorak, but Meltier and Zudarin. Now, can we all agree signing devil contracts is a bad idea?
In certain circumstances.
Activate Dwarf Rage.
I raise my left hand. It's like, I promise under Tilva's name I will not sign any more devil contracts.
And Meneltern rolls his eyes and raises his hand. If it makes you happy, I promise I won't ever sign a devil contract for as long as my days. To your god Tilva.
Vorik, you too.
Vorik, you don't have to do this.
This is just not at the moment. Still confused with the whole situation a little bit.
Now come, let's go train a militia.
Indeed.
Okay, so you're all returning back to the town?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Time of day is it that we get back?
Ah, I see. So yeah, you've been out here for probably like an hour or two, so it's maybe about the afternoon now that you've stepped out. The snow has been replaced with
shit.
just a sort of chillyish wind. What's up?
Can I retch or something? Cause
Maybe. What's up?
well, I mean, the town needs food, and we were out there anyway.
Yes, it does.
Would it be possible to on the way back, see if there were signs of animals around?
Sure, yeah, make a survival check for me.
me see what my buff dad is, real quick. Sweet.
If we were looking for food, considering that I'm living in the wild, I'm assuming I'm helping you with this.
Yeah, you can make your own roll as well.
That was a real
We
slow
all
roll
would
over there,
help him
guy.
to a degree.
I got a 10.
Meneltiern doesn't help.
22.
I got 17.
Okay. So you guys go out and as a group decide to grab perhaps some game on the way back towards the town.
Meneltiern just goes back to the town.
Okay.
He,
Meneltiern just leaves.
he's no good at hunting.
At hunting. Okay. As you do, you wander on out, and the rest of the group kind of hangs back. And Meneltiern, as you're traversing across the space between the forest and there's like a little bit of a field that you're going through on the way towards the town, you see something. A man running from the direction of the woods towards you hurriedly with a panicked look on his face. He's wearing the garb of a ranger. A bow is slung over his back, and leather armor is what is adorned on him. And he's panicked.
He's
Says to
running
you,
from the woods
Yes.
towards me. Okay.
Yes. And as he gets close to you, he goes, "Oh, where's Dudarin? Is Dudarin around?"
He's hunting at the moment. What is it?
Oh God! Oh, it was huge.
What
Oh.
was huge? Use your big words.
He looks over his shoulder, and you hear coming from that direction that he looks towards a loud crunch, like a tree being snapped.
Oh Lord.
And you guys also hear this off in the wild. You've all managed to collect a couple of hares from their den, and have just kind of finished killing them and slinging them over your shoulders when you hear the sound of like a tree being smashed and a bunch of stomping.
I look to the ranger boy, man, I'm not sure which, and I say, I look
Yeah,
at
he's
him
like
and
in
I
his early 20s.
I say, go back to the village, get all able-bodied men who are capable of fighting, not farmers and what have you, but men who have at least fought at some point in their lives. Send them towards this way. I'm going back to Dudarin. And I run towards where I remember them last being.
Sure, he runs towards town. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! And just disappears into that into the tents. You run back towards the forest, and what are you guys doing after hearing this?
So when I hear that, I go, Vorik, your dream had something big in it, right?
Yes, it did. Quite a large creature.
I will put the hairs in my pack.
Okay.
I will draw my axe. And I will walk towards the noise.
Okay.
A big smile come on my face as he draws his axe. I'll grab my great axe and follow him.
Ivan's also following.
All right. So as you begin to go here, you can hear hurried footsteps coming towards you, and Meneltiern soon meets with you. He looks like he's run more than he likes to.
Absolutely.
Take it you heard the noise as well.
I feel like I need not explain myself. Let's go.
I will lead the party with a brisk pace.
Okay. You run off in the distance here towards the noise, and the noise sounds like it's running towards you as well. Do you keep going until it's in sight?
Yes, and making a comment about, like, large things wanting to attack things I'm near.
Everybody please roll perception.
It's a tiny mouse.
Oh, why?
Modded 20.
18.
5.
18.
Also, I would just like to make a note. I just want to kind of stay a little bit farther back than the rest of them, maybe about 20 feet or so,
Sure.
as I am the squishy guy.
That's a stupid position for a head.
There we are. Off in the distance, those of you who rolled a 15 or higher can see a creature which towers over the size of any man and must be maybe like 12, maybe 15 feet tall. Ivan, with your expert eyes here, you can see through the trees and all of the foliage what looks like some sort of gargantuan beast that has red leather and wings and 3 different heads all gnawing in different directions, and one of them locks eyes with you from the foliage up ahead. Everybody, Ivan, can you go ahead and roll either Nature or Arcana? Do you have either of those?
Proficiency, you mean?
Yes. A nature
Would I
or
be able to
Arcana.
make that same roll, having Arcana?
Ah, what did you get for your perception?
18.
18? Yeah, absolutely, please.
Almost a 20, but it's a 9.
A 9. Okay. You're not exactly sure what the creature is, but you think that it might be a chimera. And it's clear that it knows where all of you are. It turns over in your direction, and I'll have everybody please roll initiative.
Do I know anything about chimeras, or would I?
You
is
know
it
that
just
they are
like,
beasts of legend.
Oh no.
I'm going to immediately blame Theo.
now I roll a natural.
He broke the contract!
Well, I mean, technically, Vulu doesn't own these woods.
No, but he promised not to interfere or harm us.
Man, we really should have put like a clause for what happens if he breaks that.
You really should have.
I mean, he might be his word. Oh, I got a 15, by the way.
Got a 20.
There's
That's
no
right.
clause. He has no reason. Oh, we screwed ourselves. Just said you get we get his soul if he breaks it.
Roll again there, Dudarin. Let's see who gets the higher one. I just got an 11.
10.
Okay, so this creature goes first. You can put yourself 1 down.
No,
I
I
mean-
go first.
I mean,
Mental
he probably
tier?
has the higher dex mod than me anyway.
Menaltiern, you're up.
Okay. Let's see here. God,
Is
I
it-
can. This is bullshit.
Is his dex mod higher than 0? Because he beat me no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's as far as I can run forward. He is quite a distance away from me. I'm going to ready in action. Once he gets within the spell's range, which I will look up in a moment, of blindness, I'm going to cast it on him.
Oh, okay. Let's see here.
You know, it occurs to me that even if I had rolled a good perception, I couldn't see that thing anyway.
Good point.
Hmm.
So 30 feet.
That's no.
The creature comes crashing through the trees here, and as it does, its incredibly large wings span out in either direction and begin to flap as it goes to take to the skies. At 30 feet, that's when you can cast a spell, right, Menaltiern?
Correct. That's the range.
Right about there-ish? Okay.
Mhm.
The creature flies up and gets itself to roughly about here. And then, with that, it ends
That
its
is a-
turn.
Okay.
And what does it have to make for saves?
Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Gets an 8.
That
so,
doesn't beat a 13.
So what was it? Blindness?
Blindness.
Oh, goodness. Okay, you blind the creature that's attempting to soar through the skies. Who knows where that will lead.
Fuck
And
you, creature.
it's your turn, Dudarin.
I charge the creature.
Okay. It is flying and will be out of reach for your melee.
I will. Oh, then I will not run that far.
I
Forgot it.
jump up and get the creature.
I will come there, and if it lands near me, I will swing at it with my axe.
Okay. Vorok, you're up.
Wish I could hold a bow. Should get a hand crossbow.
Oh, the thing's not on my character. The step stuff.
What's that, sorry?
The thing underneath that says how far I've moved.
Oh! Yeah, let's get you one of those. There we go.
Cool, thank you. I'm gonna pull out. I think I have a javelin. I'm gonna grab a javelin and try to heave it at the creature in the air.
Sounds good.
At the blinded creature in the air.
Yes,
Yes.
the blinded creature.
Advantage, I believe.
Indeed.
Hit it in the face.
Hit it in the face.
You know what? Before I do that, I will go into a rage.
Sure. You recognize, by the way, as he throws javelin, that this is the creature from your dreams.
Right, I'm excited then.
Pumped.
There's a huge smile on my face, even though
Oh.
that was not a very good roll.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
With advantage, that was
Oh no.
12.
Okay. Your javelin
Oh,
flies
no.
up in the air, and the creature turns towards you. It has, like, the head of some horrible lizard, a goat head for another, and another is a lion, and its body is that of a lion as well, seemingly combined with some sort of, like, dragon-like appearance. One of its heavy lion paws comes over and just swats this out of the air like it were a toothpick.
It's able to do that even though it can't see it.
Yes.
Shit.
Well, I did roll pretty good.
Does blindness affect all the heads or just one?
You can't quite tell.
It's,
I can't,
it's one
uh,
creature, unless each head is a different creature.
So yeah, I can't do anything else. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Ivan, it's your turn.
Okay. I will run up and if the creature gets within range, hit it.
Okay, it's definitely too high in the sky for you to hit with melee.
Yeah, I'm just like preparing, I guess, my attack.
It's getting ready? Okay.
Prepared action or whatever.
So next up, Mentaltyr. It's you. What do you want to do?
Oh boy, it is me, ain't it?
Mhm.
Give me a second. I want to see if something would affect it. Where is it? There we are. Okay. Okay. Would I be able to discern how intelligent this creature is?
You could certainly make an attempt at finding out. What do you have for proficiency that you'd want to use? Like, like try and nature check it, or trying to insight whether or not it is, or what? do you-
Insight. Insight is something I have proficiency in.
Sure. Yeah. Roll that. Let's see what we get.
All right. That's a 6.
You have no idea.
Mhm.
It
Well-
acts like a beast, but you don't know if it's just some dull creature or if it really has a shining intelligence behind its eyes.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Being why I asked if it was intelligent. If it has an intelligence score of 4 or less, it is not affected.
Okay. You go to cast the spell and it immediately fizzles out. You can tell that it doesn't have any effect on this creature.
Bullshit. Well, that is that.
Okay.
So as a collective, can we stop rolling 4s?
We
So,
just ban 4s now.
when does this creature get to do its... Oh, sorry, you have
I
another thing?
just had one question. If I attempt to cast the spell and it has no effect because the creature can't be affected, do I still lose the spell slot?
Yes.
Okay. He gets to make the save at the end of its turn.
Okay. So here, the creature looks completely disoriented as it flies up there. It's clear that the like flailing that it's doing up in the air was chance that knocked the javelin out of the way, and the different heads look in different directions, and the wings kind of give pause here as it sort of stops its momentum instead of flying straight ahead. Let's see what it does. Okay. The creature lands nearby, right in front of all of you.
Oh lord.
So you go ahead and make your prepared attacks before we do its turn. You all have advantage, as it hasn't been able to break out of the blindness yet. Oh!
Nat 20!
Oh!
And a 5.
It was almost 2.
Advantage
Fuck
is
yeah.
useful.
Ain't it just?
And Ivan, you are prepping an attack as well, so go ahead.
Yep.
And
Still
do that.
advantage, right?
Yep.
Okay.
What do we get here? A 4 and a 2? It's not bad.
Oh, are you kidding me?
There you go.
8 damage.
8 damage? Okay. Does the creature get to make saves when it's hit?
No.
Okay. And what do you get for damage there, Ivan?
8 damage.
8 damage. Okay.
A whopping 16.
You both land 2 good strikes, but the creature flails out in your direction here. As it does, it attacks. It attacks you there, Ivan. Let's see if it manages to land.
Misses.
Misses.
Definitely misses.
Just
Don't even bother
misses.
rolling.
So it's disadvantage, yes?
Correct.
Ivan does a 20 hit.
Fuck you.
What did you roll?
A thing. Okay.
Yeah, that hits.
And the other one does a 25 hit.
Oh, 2 attacks?
Yep.
Yeah, both of those hit.
Okay.
Damn it.
So the first strike
Did
deals
he
to
roll like
you
2 20s or something?
13
that's
damage,
Oh
Jesus
my God.
Christ.
and the second one deals another 13 damage.
Fuck.
After that, it makes it save because it's the end of its turn,
Mm-hmm.
and nope, that's a con save, right?
Yep.
It has speed of 13.
Correct.
You got a 12.
Ah!
Still blind. It's your turn, Dudarn.
Fuck you, creature.
Okay. So, I am going to Action Surge this turn.
Okay. 2 attacks coming in.
Both still at advantage because blind.
Yep.
Gonna need a hero.
Thank God for advantage.
Is
That's jank.
I thought that was the roll.
I'll reroll this one.
There you
Same
go.
number.
Same number.
That makes it a 18.
That hits. Roll damage.
Uh-oh. Ivan is kill.
Ivan is dead.
Ivan, no.
I'll do my damage. 5 damage for the first attack.
5. Okay. Putting a dent on it.
We need to get you some magical weapons.
You know it.
Oh,
Boom.
So
Cool.
close. Well, that hits.
okay. Let's see what we get here for damage.
We just have the arrow +1.
Ooh, there you go.
9 damage.
No, we
The
sold
arrow
that to
plus 1.
we sold that to what's it, the racist Asian guy.
Oh yeah.
Is
that
that
is-
your turn, Dudarn?
Yes, that is all I can do.
Vorok, you're up.
Alright, upon seeing Dudarn take some chunks out of this thing, I'm gonna run up and take my great axe and try to cleave it in the neck of one of its heads.
Oh.
I can do with advantage this time.
There you go. A little bit better.
So that is a 18.
18 will hit. Roll damage. Oh.
And that is going to be 14 damage.
Okay, you get a pretty good strike. Your axe comes down and cuts right along the neck of this strange animal head on the side closest to you, but it's still fine, and the head is not decapitated. It's quite like sinewy, and it kind of stepped back while you were making your strike. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I can't do anything else right now.
All right, Ivan, you're up. Oh, is he still gone?
Yeah, he's still killed. He timed out, so
Oh, He was
So
having
in-
internet problems, so
I know.
I fear that's kind of what's going on here.
Damn you, Comcast!
Right?
Literally worse than Hitler.
So, it would be an inopportune
kinda-
time to go to break.
Yes, it would be a very inopportune.
Ivan uses the help action, which is... And he helps Dudairn, because the creature might not be blind next turn.
Ivan hit real good.
Yeah. 220s.
Did all the damage. Hero of day.
Hero.
Okay, well, it's evident that Ivan might need a moment here. I think that we should go to a wait screen here and hope that he resurfaces in the next 5 or 10. Sound
Okay.
good?
Yeah,
Okay, because we don't really know how long that's gonna take.
right. Well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom then,
Sounds
as
good.
I've been holding it.
Alright. Oh, Ivan. Come back to us.
I mean,
Good work negotiating with the devil, though. That was fun.
I feel like it could have gone a little better in our favor. I wish he'd bumped it to 5 Sovereign Stones, but... I'm not the one that can write Infernal.
This is true. We are subject to the limitations of our characters.
Might have taken that deal, too.
I love the fucking 1 roll on the persuasion check. Oh, that was great.
I'm not allowed to have, like, the really important roles.
Nice things. Relic
Well, that-
has sent me a message. Internet died, should be back in a minute, he says.
He's
There
logging
he
back
is.
on
He's
the
in the
tabletop.
tabletop. The best roll of the day was for me to know who the lucky bastards were. Priorities.
Aha.
There's the dwarf of the hour.
Internet decided to just, shut itself off.
Nice. Are you having, like, provider issues, or is your, like, your modem,
Yes.
like, exploding?
He has
It's-
Comcast. It's only issues.
Yeah. Well, it's not actually Comcast, but I'm pretty sure it is provider issues at this point.
All right. Ah, he has returned.
Hooray. Weird though, because I can hear you guys for about 30 seconds when you
Mhm.
can't hear me,
Yeah.
and then it
Really?
dies.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Fucking
Um,
internet, man.
Internet. Who needs it?
The nets.
When you
Alright,
hop back
but
in
relaunch
here,
tabletop.
we'll cut away from the loading screen and get back to it.
Well, I've got some time, so I'm gonna actually go to the bathroom real quick.
Sure.
Yay.
Okay. Is it my turn or?
It is.
It is, yeah, we'll just wait for,
Okay.
Blade to return.
You know, as I stood up, my internet like spiked to like 200 ping.
Okay, let's see here. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Roll like 4 net 20s, Ivan.
Please.
I mean, listen, it could happen.
We are back. It's your turn, Ivan. The beast here has been wounded, but it still stands before you strong and ferocious as ever. What do you want to do?
Has anyone else gotten hit yet?
Oh,
No.
just you.
Okay.
You're that lucky special
Gonna
guy.
throw a level 2 cure wounds on myself.
Not a bad idea.
I'm sitting at 4 HP. Okay. And cast Divine Favor as well.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Are those both level spell slots? Because you can only do one per turn.
I'll do. Oh, you can only cast one spell per turn.
Yeah, so you could do like a normal spell and then a cantrip on the same turn, but you can't cast 2 spells that are non-cantrips on the same turn. One or the
Okay.
other.
Even though one is a bonus action spell.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I thought
Okay, yeah.
I didn't think it worked that way, but it does.
Okay. So yes. So I will be doing just the heal then.
Okay. After that, it's your turn, Metal Tyrann. What do you want to do?
Okay. What do I want to do?
Can you double stack blindness?
No,
I thought you were going to say
unfortunately-
Oreos.
Can you-
It's even better because I started with stubble deck.
Stubble deck them Oreos. Stubble deck Georgia.
Hold your
Yeah,
turn until
exactly.
it gets its vision back and then cast it again.
I mean, it's an idea. But what Metal Tyrann is gonna do? He's gonna cast Mage Armor on himself.
Not a bad idea.
Certainly not a bad idea. I have to remember what that makes my AC though. 13 plus Dex, so 15. Okay. And I'm going to just get out of range here.
Take the opportunity attack.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a 9 is probably alright.
Thank God.
Yeah, you see his like large paw just like smashes down on the ground where you were previously, but it's kind of late, and you
Right.
can tell it's like trying to go off sound, and you're well into
Right.
safety.
Okay, now, give me 1 second. Just want to check something. Where is it? Is it a bonus action? Is it a regular action? It is an action, so I cannot use it. Never mind.
Okay. Is that the turn?
That is the turn. That is what they call a turn.
All right. The
Oh
creature
wait,
just...
I forgot. I kill it. Can I do that?
No, not quite.
okay.
That's multiple
Okay.
turns.
Oh, okay.
The creature decides who to go for. Let's see. 1, 3. Okay, so far that's 2 for Dudairn, and 1 for Vorok. Makes 2 attacks on you, Dudairn. First one, holy fuck, this is 25.
Doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit.
No.
And the other one is an 11.
That one misses.
Okay.
I think it's the first time an attack has actually missed me in like
It-
5 sessions.
Sounds about right.
Okay. You see that its horns come towards you as one of the heads sort of charges in your direction, and these spiny, bony protrusions from its head go thrusting into your chest here, and you take, well, let's see, 7 points of damage.
Oh, that's fine.
And meanwhile, some claws come slashing over in your direction there, Vorok, as it swings blindly, and does a 26 hit you?
I have to check. I think so, though.
You take 10 damage. And after that, let's make a save. That's exactly a 13. The spell has dropped. It's your turn, Dudairn.
Well, goddamn.
Well,
This
I
week
would've
on
liked
fighting things we
one.
shouldn't.
But really,
I
though,
would have liked one more turn with advantage.
I know. I mean, maybe in the future.
No. Not likely.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, Vorok, you're up.
Okay.
I didn't hear what you said.
I'm just reading something real quick.
No worries.
Da-da.
Do what you gotta do.
Okay, I'm gonna actually use Reckless Attack.
Oh, wow, big
And
man.
Use advantage to try to cleave it right in the exact same spot I hit it the last time.
Okay. Bold play, sir.
Oh my god. That's the exact
wow.
same roll I had the first time with advantage.
Oh, that's
Alright,
not
well,
good.
That's it for me.
So it now gets to attack you with advantage on its next turn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you swing out, but your axe misses, unfortunately, and Ivan, it's your turn.
Okay.
I think it's really dumb.
I'll now cast Divine Favor and then attack this creature. Still advantage, right?
Shit.
Yes. No, it broke out of its.
Oh, no, look at it. Okay. Well,
broke out of its.
I hope it.
I think a
What is that,
19's
23?
okay. I think you got it. I think you got it.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait. All right. So it's gonna be 5 radiant damage, and
Oh.
10 bludgeoning. That's relevant.
Okay. You get a decent strike here and can see as radiant energy flies off of your divine weapon. The creature staggers back for a moment, a wisp of smoke trailing off of the wounded area. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. To cast blindness now, or to wait until after Dudaren's turn?
Should do it now.
Hmm.
It's your turn, middle turn. What do you want to do?
Blindness.
Blindness. Okay.
Fuck this thing.
Save. It passes.
Shit.
Is that your turn?
Wasn't expecting that to happen.
Yeah, roll a 14, then its modifiers.
This is bullshit.
I'd like to declare bullshit on this monster.
That's all I can do at the moment.
Boy, okay. So the creature turns over towards you there, Ivan, and you see its lizard-like head comes closer towards you and then opens up and flame explodes out towards you. I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Oh, I'm great at these. Really not. That's a 12.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's... plus...
Stop rolling dice already. Come on.
You take 27 points of damage as an explosion of flame hits you, and you try to step out of the way, but it strikes you directly, causing flame to just surround every part of you. Your hands, your arms, your face. Are you still conscious?
Ivan is unconscious.
Okay.
He's not dead.
He's not dead. You all see Ivan just tumble after the flame subsides and disappears. His body just poof into the ground. Charred, smoky areas all over him. And then the beast turns over towards you, Dudaren. And it's your turn.
I call
Garbage.
in a fiery rage.
I call garbage.
Was it turned to me?
Yes, it's looking right at you.
Oh, was it my turn?
Yep, yeah, it's your turn.
Metal turn, what happened? Are you down?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Ivan's down.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
He just got the flamey goodness.
I guess my brain just ignored the last 5 minutes.
It's okay, dude. I've been there before.
Well, with the recent memory of a friend lost, I'm going to call for Tova's guidance as I try to chop this fucking thing's head off.
You're only allowed to take elves.
Only allowed to take elves.
Fucking why? Why?
Wow, Tilda's a bitch.
Make a strength save for me, please.
You can redeem yourself, die.
No, they did
11?
Okay.
I'm sorry, 9.
A 9. Oh, okay.
Wait, save? Save?
you
No,
s-
save is 11.
Yeah, it's a save.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
so you're
11.
good. You almost let go of your weapon as you swing out, but managed to barely hold it in your hand. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Morok, you're up.
Okay, I'll tighten my grip on my great axe and try one more time to chop at the same place.
Okay.
Better.
There we go. That's a 24.
Okay. Roll damage.
Oh,
Oh
come on.
no!
7 damage.
7? Okay. It's still alive, and your cut once again isn't enough to fell this, to cut through this beast's neck. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Death saving throw, Ivan. Here we are again.
Man, Nat 20 would be great right about now.
Not a
Right?
session goes by.
What was
Not-
Tilva?
Oh,
No.
Unfair.
one fail.
On the bright side, he hasn't died yet, so
Mental
Who's
Tyrann,
that?
you're up.
Yep. Do you need proficiency to stabilize someone?
No, you don't. You just need to roll a medicine check and get a 10 or higher, unless you have some other way of doing it.
Right. Which I don't. But I get on this side of him,
Okay,
with him in between myself and the creature, and I'm going to attempt to stabilize him.
nicely done. Let's see what you get. Medicine. Oh no. Oh. Oh, hey.
There we go.
Okay. Ivan, you're stabilized. Is that your turn, Mental Tyrann?
Is there any way to like wake someone from a stabilization?
No, not unless you have healing.
Not unless you have healing. Well, fuck.
He's basically in a happy, sleepy time coma.
Right, and not stabilization, and stabilizing someone is an action, correct?
Yes, you still have your bonus action, your interaction, all that.
Which means I have nothing to do because I have no bonus actions.
Okay. The creature turns over towards you, Dudarin, and then another head looks at you, Vorok. Let's see who the favorite happens to be. Okay, there's 2 attacks coming towards you, Dudarin, and 1 towards Vorok.
Hmm.
Does an 18 hit?
yes.
Okay, so there's 2 strikes that land. The first one deals 12 damage, and the next one deals 7.
Wow.
What?
It's exactly enough to take me down.
Oh, that was like the last hit point.
Fucking kidding me.
Okay,
I was at 7 when you did that.
and then a swing at Vorok. Vorok, does a 21 hit?
Yep.
Vorok, you take 10 points of damage. Are you still with us?
Oh yeah, I'm good for now. I take half damage, so.
Okay. Dudarin, it's your turn. I'd like you to make a death saving throw, please.
Can I opt out for a path? Please?
Oh,
I'll take a path.
can you what?
I was before I rolled, I asked if I could opt out for a path.
I don't know what that means.
If I could just not roll and path.
Oh. It is your turn there, Vorok, but you notice something. There's a sound behind you of rushing footsteps, and you can see over your shoulder what looks like a bunch of men from the town running over here through the trees.
Thank Christ.
Okay, still in my rage focus where I've been chopping this guy's neck and wanting some of this glory for myself before the reinforcements show up. I'm gonna take another swing at the neck.
Okay.
Ah, damn it. Nope, that's a 10.
Okay, that might cost you. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Afterwards, Ivan, you can do nothing, and Mental Tyrann, it's yours.
Which direction are the men coming from?
Over here.
Over here? Okay.
Can't attempt to roll a Nat 20.
Can you attempt to roll a nat 20? Let's see. I'll roll luck for you. Yes, you can. Not today. What do you want to do, Miltarian? This
I-
beast here has just felled the great hero of your
Mhm.
prophecy.
Right. He's not dead yet. I've seen him come back from worse.
Wow.
It wouldn't be so funny if it weren't so true. I'm gonna cast Magic Missile, and I'd also, if at all possible, just like to kind of scream and shout and get its attention.
Oh. Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay. Well,
3 or 2, 2, and a 4. Okay.
that's not bad. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11 damage. Okay, the creature is still alive, but you get a bunch of good shots in, and it recoils from the strikes and turns towards you, very, very enraged. Is that your turn? Okay.
Yes.
I also want you to go ahead and make for me an intimidation check.
Okay. As you all know, I am very intimidating.
It's more of a taunt, just to kind of get its attention.
So 15.
It's keenly paying attention to you.
Metal Tyrn is scared shitless right now, but God, he hopes this works.
Okay. I'm going to roll perception for the creature. And it rolls poorly. It runs
Good.
over towards you, stepping over in this direction. And
Ow.
kind of moving Dudarin to the side
There we
there. And it goes to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. There are 3 attacks coming towards you. The first one
God damn.
is probably a miss at a 16.
That hits. That
Okay.
15 is my AC.
Next one will also hit, and the next one will also hit.
I'm likely fucked.
You first take 12 points of damage,
Jesus Christ.
and next you take 11. Are you still up?
Oh no, I am down.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure I don't die.
You have, let's see if it insta-KOs you. The last one is a 14. Are you insta-KO'd?
I'm gonna let you know in a moment. So that's 12 plus 11 plus 14. That is more than I'm insta KO'd.
You are instant KO'd.
I have
Okay.
34 is the total amount of damage. He did 37.
From what health you had? What HP did you have before?
I have 17 health.
And your max HP is?
17.
Oh my god. What?
I'm fucking squishy.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute then. The creature rends Meneltirn here, and then Dudarin, I need a death saving throw from you. You have 1 pass.
I'll kind of say, come back with a fucked up face. No one will notice.
No one will notice.
2 passes, okay.
Woo.
And then it's your turn, Vorok. Every one of your companions has fallen into
my
the ground,
God.
and you can see what looks like a mob of men running from the town over here, coming out of the trees.
How bad is it where I hit it in the neck?
It looks like if you can get one good strike, one of its heads would come off.
Would it be possible to just try to brute force it and grab it and try to rip the head off?
You could certainly try. It would probably be more difficult than an axe swing, you would gather. But you could try.
What would it be to do it?
It would probably be a contested check like a grapple. So athletics against athletics.
Not just a strength check then. Okay.
You would have advantage because you're a barbarian and you're raging, but I don't know if you want to put it on that. It's up to you, buddy.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna yell over at everybody. Slay this beast! It attacks your hero! And, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna try to rip its head off.
Roll with advantage. A athletics check, please.
Please, God.
Honestly, the creature didn't roll very well, but it has a decent modifier. So,
Oh no. 16?
you reach up and grab this head here and pull on it, and there's a moment of resistance, and then you hear a horrible snap and a like sound as all this muscle tears off, and it squirms in your arms as you now hold the neck and head of one of this creature's heads. And
Alright,
the whole
I throw
thing, it recoils back and screams.
I throw it to the ground, grab my get my hands back on my great axe, and then just stare at the other two heads and prepare for what the creature's gonna do next.
Okay. The creature immediately turns around and takes flight to escape. Are you gonna pursue it?
Can I take an attack at it?
Yeah, you can make an opportunity attack.
Okay. On crit. Nope.
No, okay.
Oh, the sevens today, Jesus.
It dashes away flying above the trees, and you are no longer in combat.
Alright, well, I'll try to stabilize Dude Aaron.
Okay, make that medicine check, please. One fail. Okay, Dude
It's
Aaron.
a 10 though, I've got 2 medicine.
Oh, okay, so he's stable then.
Yeah.
Alright, no. I guess I'll check Mental Turn here, see if I can get any kind of pulse.
It seems for a moment that there is none, and I must go to table talk. Meneltir,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
would you like to die here or continue with some sort of injury? I offer this to you. I will not tell you of how heinous or minute
Right.
it may be, but you can
Right.
continue, perhaps to see the prophecies through here, or simply because you love playing Meneltir. It's up to you. What do you want to do?
Now the question is, do I want to debilitate the party more with more horrible injuries?
Now,
Or do I want to die?
remember, this is gonna fuck with Dude Aaron, and I'm gonna make that roll. See if he switches back
Hmm.
if you die.
That's a good point.
So the table talk begins.
So the table talk begins. Debilitating injury. Or Darren possibly loses his shit.
Our dear friend Tasslin in the chat says, "Would you like to continue?" Question mark. And I go 10, 9, 8. Nick says, "Please insert coin."
Coin. Oh god.
Well,
I enjoy playing Mental Tier, and I'd like to see him continue with a debilitating injury.
suddenly
Really,
you can feel there's a pulse there, Vorok. He's not dead. All the townsfolk, they run up to you here as you're standing around what looks like your entire party decimated, and they can see the familiar faces of your companions here, save for Meneltirn. And I'm going to actually make a roll for Meneltirn to see whether or not his mask was knocked off.
Oh, fuck.
If
They'll
I
accept him
roll,
though, right? Because I'm his friend.
if I roll a 10 or higher, your mask is still on.
Christ.
I'll just leave that there.
Wait, wait. Don't fucking say anything. I want to look in the fucking... Oh, thank God.
Survives with injury, dies to townspeople. Beautiful. They all come running and go to help everybody up, and Vorok, it's clear that everyone has survived, though they're all clearly unconscious. And with that, I think we will end the session.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, everybody. I thought that you all played very well, and I had a blast, especially the chit-chat with Theo. That was good. I like that. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with one prone to only. This is legit out of the frying pan into the oven.
Right?
Because now we have a fucking Chimera to deal with.
To the oven.
It's only 2-headed now, though.
Oh, I guess I should roll that
God
Thing.
damn.
Well,
See
do you
how
think he's
long
gonna
I'm out?
come back, given that you just lopped off one? No, literally tore off one of his heads. Ah. Creature's got no intelligence, you know. Maybe it's like, don't screw with that guy, or
Duder's
I
not
want to
gonna-
eat him.
Look, Duder's not gonna rest with the possibility that's still out there.
Gonna go out and hunt it with the townsfolk.
Well, I'm gonna train the townsfolk.
Right. Yeah, probably a good
Why?
idea. Hand over those weapons and everything. Well, thanks to all of the players tonight. I thought that you guys did great. To the audience, thanks for tuning in. To all of our patrons, you guys are the reason we get to do this. So thank you very, very much. We're going to talk some random stuff. You're more than welcome to hang out. Otherwise, perhaps we will see you tomorrow for a Wednesday groups session. Adios.
Dun, dun, dun.
You did it!
So,
So,
Congratulations!
please insert coin.
I'm gonna draw Elena.
so